who was just on fire with Travis Cullen driving. But Sporty will need to find a pocket trip in each of the last couple. Sporty, how can you see Sporty getting a trip for Austin Surrey here?
I was trying to visualize this race, and it probably, wishful thinking, hoping that maybe they could leave out enough that there'd be a hole or two to drop into, maybe forwardly placed. I think that would obviously help her chances tremendously. I don't see a ton of speed in the middle of the gate, so I think that it might be possible. 11-1 right now. I think she's the overlay on the board. And there's a look at Bettina Seelster, the horse of a different color. I have actually seen this one race many times over at Mohawk Park and picked her in much more difficult spots than this. Looks good on the track. First start for Craig Gilmore, taking a lot of money right now, Gary, at 2-1.
Good back half of 56-2, and you do see speed last year in September in an OSS of 54 and 4 mile, and in that one had quarters of 27-4 and 27-3 in the back half. So Bettina Seelster actually scares me now. Wished I would have looked at just a tight bit closer, but still, it is the second start off the layoff and was 35-1 in that first start, and now drops all the way down to 2-1 in the first start for Craig Gilmore. There is Scotty Coulter, Bettina Seelster. Another one to look at in here is number 2 Fashion Blogger, who is 7-2 on the board, and did win here last September the 2nd, so that win last year was here, 4 out of 8 in the top 3, but hasn't raced since the 10th of September, but qualified well.
Yeah, definitely my biggest concern with this one is the time away, and the qualifier is a decent one. We're going to see Lucky Town in the next one, so that's actually going to be a measuring stick for us on Lucky Town. If she goes out and races well, then that's obviously going to boost his ratings up for me anyways. I just think that the time away today's probably more so just a finish underneath for her. I think if she was tight enough, she'd have a chance though.
One that I did use third on my ticket that you left off was number 8, Tandy Girl. Post position 8. It's understandable when you leave that post position off. But Jason Ryan and Tandy Girl has raced well in 2 starts. Did finish with broken equipment last race and wasn't able to get any closer than 6 1/4. But I've seen enough from her that I think if the trip could unfold at all, Jason Ryan and Tandy Girl does have the chance to get onto the ticket.
Yeah, I think for me it was last time I was a little bit disappointed in this one as my top selection, and then combine that with post 8. 11-1 though is a pretty decent price. I just think that this will be one we watch this week, and if she draws better next week, maybe then we take a chance.
Well, we do have the field for race number 1 taking up positions. It's Early Bird Special. Fashion Blogger, just crazy enough on the inside. Of the center, Nora D and Bettina Seelster. The outside, Alessandra, Sporty, and Tandy Girl. Field of 8, race number 1. It is post time. Here they come. Field 4, race number 1. Field of 8. First of 11 dashes on a marvelous Monday night at the river. Here they come. Field for the first race. Gathering speed. There at the start of the rough. An Early Bird Special on the inside, Nora D. Bettina Seelster is going to gun out hard. It is Early Bird Special and Bettina Seelster. And Bettina Seelster now is going to come on and able to grab the early lead. Early Bird Special is racing second, Alessandra third, and works on the outside. And then it is back to Fashion Blogger and Nora D. And then it is just crazy enough and Sporty and Tandy Girl. They race on to the opening quarter. Bettina Seelster and Scotty Coulter has set up shop on top, and Early Bird Special is right there in the early pocket. 28-4 is the opening quarter. Nora D, racing position third, is Fashion Blogger, then Alessandra. Now to the outside goes Sporty, then it is Nora D on the inside, and then we're back to just crazy enough, and Tandy Girl has moved out. But right now it is Bettina Seelster as they come off the turn and head towards that. Bettina Seelster has a lead of about 2.5 or 3. Early Bird Special is second. Fashion Blogger third, Alessandra and Sporty, and the half was reached in 57-3. Bettina Seelster right now is looking very sharp on the lead as they race into the backstretch. Early Bird Special is trying to close that gap and getting a tap or two there as they race on down the backstretch. And then it is a fashion blogger racing third. Alessandra and Sporty. Patina Sealster is still holding sway on this field by 2.5 lengths as they march up the three-quarters. Early Bird Special as the even money favorite is second, and then third as they race towards the far turn is Fashion Blogger, and then Alessandra and Sporty. Three-quarters, 127, but they're not getting to Patina Sealster right now. Still leads it by 2, although Early Bird Special is now getting a little closer. On down the stretch route they come. Patina Sealster, Early Bird Special. Patina Sealster is strong all the way to the finish to take it. Early Bird Special was second. Then it looked like Fashion Blogger and Sporty to pick up fourth. 156 and 4. And it was Patina Sealster going to the front, making every call a winning one. The early money did tip the hand there, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. I already had my pick five locked in there, Gary, and I'll be honest, as soon as they left off the gate, I went, uh-oh, my ticket's in big trouble, because she's always been a kind of a funny going type of horse, and she did not look that way tonight. It looks like Craig Gilmore's figured this one out, and she looked fantastic off the gate. She's always had that early speed, but sometimes she'd make miscues and whatnot. Well, tonight here at the half-mile surface, she looked fantastic throughout.
Yeah, and Scotty knew that he had that good a horse because he wasn't afraid to rush out, grab the lead, and at no time did it look like he wasn't good enough in there.
Oh no, absolutely. And as I'm kind of going over it in the pre-race analysis and looking back and remembering how she raced before, and I'll be honest, I saw them running as well and said, okay, I think my pick five might be in trouble. I pegged her in for third, but certainly, the way she looked on the track and the money she was taking, I think it would have been easy to bump that ranking up.
Well, you did have the correct 4, but not the correct order, and the pick 5 tickets go down on both ends with Patina Sealster and Scotty Coulter. One Early Bird Special raced reasonably well. Just the winner was too well meant in there, and Fashion Blogger and Sporty was able to come from an outside post to pick up fourth.
Yeah, I'll be back on Sporty next time. Difficult trip for that one. Did close up nice to be fourth. And Gary, just under $10,000 of new money in that pick 5, so good chance of some big payoffs today.
Coming back in front of us is number 5, Patina Sealster, a 3-year-old roan, Sunshine Beach, a filly, owned and trained by Craig Gilmore. Scotty Coulter, the 10 Tornado, the winning driver. It is the first win for Patina Sealster, 156 and 4. The first range payouts 5. Patina Sealster is 740, 320, and 310. One Early Bird Special 240, 240. To Fashion Blogger 320. $2 exactor 1430. Dollar Tribe 1825. Dollar Super 5925. The first race over a finish from the top, 238 71546. That's 238 71546.
All right. Well, race one is in the books, and I hope you're still alive on your pick five wagers. We had over $9,000 in new money in the pool, so there should be some nice payouts tonight in that pick five. Let's move on to race number two, and it is the second installment of Filly Mare's non-winners of 5,000 life. And I am going to go back to a horse that was a winner last time, and that's number 4, In This Together. I'll be honest, so I did struggle a little bit in this race and putting this filly on top. She was a winner last time. The start before that, she got caught first over, ended up finishing a decent fourth. Last time, though, she got a perfect steer from Travis Henry. She was able to drop back down in behind the leader in the final turn, went up the passing lane to win it. And I thought that while it was impressive, we do have to keep in mind it was a perfect trip. So that's why in my pick five wager, I did not single this one, although I do certainly respect her chances and did put her on top. But it'll be a price dependent play, and right now 3-1 is definitely a price that I can go shopping with on number 4, In This Together on top. In for second, I put number 2, Pretty Diva. This is a sports writer, 3-year-old filly making her lifetime debut for Danny Fontaine. She is a homebred, and you know what? I didn't mind that last qualifier. If you look who she qualified against, well, you'll probably recognize one of the names anyways. That's Proline, and Proline was a rock-solid winner in the grassroots over at Mohawk Park over the weekend. And I think that, while this one did get beat 8 lengths, it was a decent qualifying performance and one that you need to consider in here, especially from post 2. Right now, odds of 9-2 as a bit of an unknown quantity. I think, that would be worth taking that price now 5-1 on number 2, Pretty Diva. And then and for third, I've got number 1, Lucky Town. Well, I said the measuring stick would be, how number 2, Fashion Blogger raced in the first. She raced okay. And this one did best her in that qualifier on June the 30th. 2 qualifiers under this one's belt coming into this after racing in a no contest here on June the 14th. So this one, might be ready to go off those pair of qualifiers, has rail control. Certainly think that, this filly can get off the gate well and be a force in here, but I'm not sure if I would really think she is one that I would back as a win candidate. And then in for fourth, I've got number 3, Large John Lena, this Mark Winnicott pupil. Finished third last time at Clinton in non-winners of 2,500 life. Did have 2 starts here at Grand River in this class since the return of racing and in her sophomore season. Both times had outside posts and really wasn't able to get into the race. I think we could see a better version of this filly tonight, 8-1. Pretty decent price on this one, but again, I would side with number 4, In This Together. We're now 6-5. Yeah, because that price is getting pretty short. But number 2, Pretty Diva, is still 5-1. Those are the 2 I'd probably zero in on myself. But we'll come back and take a look at this race a little closer with Gary Guy after the post break.
Field 4, race number 2 on parade. One Lucky Town. Austin Sorry for Stefan LaRock and David Abbott and Jackson Whittam. Number 2 is Pretty Diva, Brett McDonough for Danny Fontaine and Soratsis Anastopoulos. Number 3, L'Argent Lena Ride de Roche for Mark Winnicott, Jim Maxwell Racing. And for In This Together, Travis Henry for Anita Willett, Luke Willett, Gilles Schantz. Number 5 is Smile, It's Friday. Tyler Moore for Paul Cameron and M&S Racing, and William McKay and David Serwatic. Number 7, 6th Century Harlot, Colin Kelly for Peter Brickman and Aaron Swainson Brickman. And there is 7 up the credit with Art, Tyler Borth for Bill Budd and Jim Wilson. 8 is scratched. The second race, a field of 7 to go to post shortly. We'll take a look at the main players in this dash. Rob and I will look at this field. And number 4 In This Together is loved all the way down to 4 to 5. Now, you can love that last race, although you did mention, Rob, the perfect trip. But still, it's that strong part of Anita Willett, and she certainly knows how to get the job done, especially the win column. She's done very fine throughout the year. And In This Together raced reasonably well here the start before. We've seen this one. In fact, that trailer post effort June the 21st was good as well. In This Together, Rob, right now on the track.
Yeah, I love the connections, Gary, and it looks good on the track. My whole issue is it's 4 to 5 on a horse that did, kind of need every bit of a perfect trip last time. If she had gone, 3 wide around the last turn and cruised to victory, maybe I'd feel a little bit differently. I know she is my top selection, but 4 to 5 is too short for me. She ducked inside, great steer by Travis last time. She might need another, perfect kind of scenario again, though. To get the job done. 4 to 5, too short of a price, but I certainly do think she's got a big chance.
We'll see if those odds change. There is number 2, Pretty Diva, and Brett McDonald. I didn't use this one on my top 4, but you used this one in the second spot, as well as Kenny. So either both of you are right and I'm wrong, or the other way around, but I kind of feel maybe I'm wrong. Number 2, Pretty Diva, is one that you pointed out well. There's Brett McDonald on the track.
Well, right now she's 20 to 1, and there's no way that price holds up by post time. If I could lock in on that right now, I'd make a big wager. And again, it's kind of taking a flyer, right? First time starter by Sports Writer. Again, though, you look at that last qualifier, the second place finisher was Proline. The winner was a promising looking 3-year-old for Gallucci and Millar Farms. So I just think that this one here, unknown quantity, qualified well, post 2, might be one you want to take a shot on. 20 to 1 is way too high of a price, but we'll see what she finishes at.
I want to take a look at number 7, Up the Credit with Art, 10 to 1, and I can understand why the price is left at that. Was my second choice, but I'm also leery because the 2 times that this one did not leave, finished up the track, a 6th and an 8th. Up the Credit with Art is one that likes to fire off the gate. We'll see if that can be the plan here. Picking against the post position in this spot is probably logical, but 9 to 1, certainly she raced well here.
Well, there is another angle, too, the Robert Off angle here, Gary, because I didn't use this mare in my top 4, and I was all over her last week as a single. So I just was really disappointed in how she raced last time from the pole position. I thought she should have probably kept on going, and she did get beat by a horse that got a perfect trip. But, maybe I'm holding it against her. I've been on her last couple starts, and this time I jump off from the 7 hole and off that underwhelming effort last time.
Of course, one of those that you were on her was at 10 to 1, all the way on top from post 4, but post 7 makes it tougher, now 9 to 1. There's one Lucky Town, one that's your third pick, and also a couple of qualifiers. Both of them were here, and a good 28 and 3 third panel in that qualifier here June the 30th, Rob.
Yeah, the qualifier looks good, and, you get the pole position tonight instead of the 8 hole in that qualifier. Now, there's no one really, holds out of holes and stuff in qualifiers, so she would have got an easier go of it from out there, but nice wide move and came home well enough. I just think pole position 17 to 1 right now. Wow, I have no issue taking a shot on that one.
The horse that I'd like in here at a long shot price is 5 Smile. It's Friday, and Tyler Moore driving for Paul Cameron. This one closed really nicely last time out to beaten just 3 lengths after being almost 12 lengths back at the quarter. Smile, It's Friday. Well, if this one wins at 30 to 1, you could smile. Field for race number 2, taking up positions. It's Lucky Town. Pretty Diva on the inside with Larjan Lena in the center in this together. And Smile, it's Friday to the outside. Century Harlot up the credit with Art and a field of 7. Race number 2 on a marvelous Monday night at the river. Field for the second is at the start of the rough. Larjan Lena will leave with Pretty Diva in this together. Smile, it's Friday. Up the credit with Art on the outside as the field hustles on into the turn. But right now, the early lead belongs as they race on into the backstretch to Larjan Lena. And up the credit with Art is still pressing on 3 wide in this together in the center of the track. It is in this together and up the credit with Art dueling and racing third. Now is Larjan Lena, then Pretty Diva's fourth, and Smile, it's Friday's racing fifth. Then Lucky Town and Century Harlot up there. Credit with Art's going to clear to the front, and in this together is second. Larjan Lena is racing third, 28-1's the opening quarter. Then Pretty Diva now in this together is going to reclaim the lead. And up the credit with Art will get the pocket. And Larjan Lena was considering a move to the outside. We'll see if it materializes. It now is to the outside. Larjan Lena is going to come first over as they race their way off the turn. Down to the inside fourth is Pretty Diva. And then it is back to Smile, it's Friday. Lucky Town on the outside. And then back further, racing the trailing spot, Century Harlot. 58-3 is the halftime, and it is in this together. 2-5 on the board has got the lead, and to the outside, Larjan Lena is braving it first up. Up there, credit with Art is down to the inside, and Lucky Town is racing into the front 4. Then it is Pretty Diva, Smile, it's Friday, and Century Harlot on down the backstretch in this together. Needs to fend off Larjan Lena, who's been out a while though, and that lead is about a neck right now. And off stride went Lucky Town. It is still in this together, who is in this nicely with a lead of about 3/4, but Larjan Lena hasn't thrown in the towel and is coming on again. And then it is up there, credit with Art, and Smile, it's Friday. Then Pretty Diva and Century Harlot. It is Larjan Lena and Ronda Roche as they turn from in this together down to the inside. And closing Smile, it's Friday, and out wide is Century Harlot. But Larjan Lena was large in the second to win it and take it over in this together. Then Century Harlot and Pretty Diva, 157-3. Larjan Lena was able to come first up and wear down the favorite and continue marching nicely to the finish, Rob.
Yeah, 22-1 as well, Gary. That's just wild. 5-2 in the morning line, 22-1. I had this horse pegged for fourth, but again, watching the odds on in this together, you just had to go kind of searching. I felt because that's just too short of a price, and 22-1 on this one is like an insane overlay on this Mark Winnicott trained and Ryan DeRoche driven filly.
Yeah, number 4 in this together. Besides the price, also, first up trip, but I thought was going to turn back Larjan Lena, and really it didn't quite live up to what I was expecting.
Yeah, I think that the early racing kind of did her in a little bit, and I actually was impressed that she lasted that long because that was quite the battle. 3 wide to the first turn, and then still battled on without the credit with Art before having to come back around that rival. So. Yeah, that was quite the race. Not the way I thought it was going to unfold, that's for sure. And, again, though, Larjan Lena, that's just some serious value at 22-1 right there.
Yeah, definitely up the credit with Art. Helped Larjan Lena and Ryan DeRoche. And also probably right to not regard post 7 because after working that hard to get the lead, up the credit with Art did eventually tire and miss the ticket. We have a 3-4-6-2. And your choice, Pretty Diva, at least managing to hit the superfecta. We get a nice 60-1 shot with Century Harlot, though, and Colin Kelly to get onto the tri-ticket. Coming back in front of us is number 3, Larjan Lena, a 3-year-old state Treasurer Bay filly, owned by Gemaximo Racing, trained by Mark Winnicott. Ryan DeRoche is the winning driver. It's a first win this year, third lifetime. Larjan Lena, 157-3, a new career best. The second race payouts, 3 Larshon Lena, 46, 49, 70, and 510. 4 In This Together, 260, 210, 6th Century Harlot, 1070. $2 exactor, 105, $40 try, 513.10. 20-cent super, 712.07. Ka-ching. $2 double, 141.50. The second race over finish from the top, 741 2635. That's 741 2635.
All right, well, it's time to take a look at race number 3. It's the start of the early pick 4, so start mapping out your wagers for that one. And this is for Filly Mares non-winners of 15,000 life, and we're on the pace. And well, I am going to go to number 3, Better Kiss the Men. This filly last time in the Prospect Series at Georgian Downs made a break at the start, spotted the field a pretty big margin, and then did recover with a wide move in the final turn. I thought she was actually going to win the race, but she kind of tired late to finish second, beaten only a length. I thought the effort was a solid one, and I think that if she minds her manners tonight, she might fare much better. 2 starts back, she did race at Mohawk Park and non-winners of 2, and we've seen those types come over here and do well, here at the river. So I'm going to go with number 3, Better Kiss the Men, and 3-1 is much higher than I was expecting on this one. And Anthony Hahn will be aboard with Robert Shepard driving tonight at Mohawk Park in the grassroots races. Number 4, I'm Diabolical is my second choice. This one was a pumped up winner on July the 5th. Travis Cullen gets the best out of this one. The 2 wins that you see on this mare's card have both come with Travis Cullen being aboard. And you cannot ignore this one in here. Right now, 4-1 on the board. That's kind of surprising to me. She is facing tougher tonight, but Travis gets along with this one. And last time, this was a very, very easy winner in 56-2 on the front end. I would not be surprised if I'm Diabolical did the same thing again in here tonight, moving up the class ladder. In for third, number 6, Let's Roar. I certainly respect this horse. Strong connections, trained by Greg McNair. And last time finished third in the Prospect Series at Georgian Downs. Before that was third here, but that was against JM Sports Fan. Wide margin. Don't be fooled by that, because JM Sports Fan won that race by a huge margin. So this one did not do too poorly to finish third, beaten 13. 3-2 on the board right now for me is too short of a price, but I certainly do think this one has a chance. Number 6, Let's Roar. And then for fourth, I've got number 7, Vanis Cam. This one, gave a pretty solid effort last time against JM Sports Fan. It was the runner-up. Actually got the better of. Last time that was June the 28th. Finished second to JM Sports Fan. That was in a different race than that was over here at Grand River. And this one, raced well to do it. Got beat by a wide margin again, much like Let's Roar did to that horse last time. And I would say. Vanis Camp for me from the outside post is probably just a play underneath. 14-1 is a decent price, but I would say from out there she's going to have a tough time getting into the race, and maybe can close late for third or fourth. But for me, I really like Better Kiss the Men. I thought her last effort was a fantastic one. 2-1 on the board right now, starting to shorten up to a price that I'd say maybe a little bit too short on the win end. But I do think that she is the one to beat in here off her latest effort. So it's Better Kiss the Men over I'm Diabolical, the 4, and number 6, Let's Roar, and number 7, Vanis Cam. But we'll come back and take a closer look at this race after the post parade.
Field for the third on parade. 1 scratch to Lotte Silster, J. Hammers for Scott Friend and Rebecca Williamson. Number 3 is Better Kiss the Men. Anthony Hahn for Isabel Darvaux and Robert Shepard. And for his I'm Diabolical, Travis Cullen for Brenda Duncan and Dave Duncan. 5 is Little Bearcat, Mike Horner. It drives, trains, and owns Number 6, Let's Roar. Brett McDonald for Greg McDermott, Hunt Racing. And number 7 is Vanna's Cam. Paul McKenzie for Catherine Flanagan. Well, fans, it's a field of 6 with the 1 being scratched, and we'll start with number 3, Better Kiss the Men. 5-2 on the board. I thought it might be the favorite and may still wind up being the favorite, Rob, but this one did make a break at Georgian Downs at the start of the race last time. Although you got to give her credit for making a huge recovery and being beaten only like that. Has a nice top 2 record on the year as well. 5 out of 7 on the top 2 with 3 wins at Three Rivers.
Yeah, and it was an uncharacteristic break, and I love the way that she got back into it. I thought she was cruising by, and I think just kind of she got tired after making the big recovery. Only got beat a length on the end of it. She did draw even with that leader briefly before succumbing to the runner-up position, but looks good on the track tonight. Anthony Hahn on the bike. 2-1 is about the price I was expecting. Anything lower than that might shy away from the win tickets, but I think she's got a big chance.
Number 4, I'm Diabolical. Took a bunch of money last race with Travis Cullen driving. He's driven this one twice, won with both of them. And the thing to note, though, is moving up and facing tougher. But I tell you, Travis drove this mare like he thought she was tons the best, and she lived up to it.
Yeah, she doesn't know she's moving up in class, and she looks sharp on the track right now, I'll tell you that. She's buzzing around with her ears up. She's probably feeling really good off that victory, and like you said, Travis gets along with her splendidly, and like I said, I would not be surprised if she goes out there and rhymes off another big effort again.
Number 6, Let's Roar, is my second pick in here and your third, but one that I think has an excellent chance to win. Look at that last race. The one that beat Let's Roar was Always Watching. We saw that one here destroy a field by about 17 lengths from the trailer post, and then Always Watching went up to Georgian Downs. That race went in 52-1 as Always Watching just crushed the field. Let's Roar did pace her own mile in 53-2, and Brett McDonald driving. Brett's been driving very sharply of late. Let's Roar. Don't disregard this one, and the fans haven't. 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 to me though is a little bit too much support on this one. Although I do like even that third 2 starts back here to Jam Sports Fan. Jam Sports Fan just moments ago raced well at Mohawk Park in an OSS Grassroots division to finish 4th, and I think that one's going to have a real nice season. So, Let's Roar I think has a chance in here. 9-5 though, Gary, is way too short of a price for me.
Back-to-back 27-4 final quarters in that last race at Georgian Downs, so she was not exactly packing it in. And another one to take a look at, number 7, Vanna's Cab. You get 17-1, and raced really well here off the layoff last time out in 56-2, and benefits with a scratch, and now we'll leave out a post position 6.
Yeah, the price is really robust right now, isn't it? 18-1, finished second of the one I just mentioned, Jam Sports Fan last time. Came around the tired rivals late to do it. Didn't get near that winner at all, but I do think that she may have merited more respect in here than 18-1. For me, she's a play underneath, and happy to do it at that price.
Number 2, Latte Sealster and Jay Harris is one that actually raced okay here June the 18th to finish 4th in 57-3. And then the next start, outside post and early interference, still managed to come on and finish 3rd. Went to Mohawk last race and 56-1. Latte Sealster maybe is one at least you could squeeze onto the ticket. Was 8 out of 19 in the top 2 last year and won at Flamborough in 57.
Yeah, did beat Better Kiss the Men at Mohawk Park in that last effort on July the 1st. This horse took a lot of early money and made me take a closer look at her. I'll be honest, I think she took the bulk of the early money when it came into the pool. Inside post now with the pole position, certainly has a chance. 9-1, can't fault anyone for taking a chance at her at that price.
We have a field of 6 moving in behind the gate and taking up their positions. Latte Sealster, Better Kiss the Man on the inside. In the center, I'm Diabolical, and Little Bearcat to the outside. Let's Roar. And Vanna's Cam. It is a field of 6 for the third dash on a marvelous Monday night at Grand River Raceway. It is post time. Here they come. The field for race number 3. Into the stretch drive. Gathering speed approaching the start. They're at the start of the rough. Latte Sealster, Better Kiss the Man, Let's Roar to the outside, I'm Diabolical, and then it is back to Little Bearcat and Vanna's Cam is trailing the field, and they work their way on into the backstretch, and Latte Sealster had a cup of coffee on the lead, but now Better Kiss the Man's going to come on and take the front. Latte Sealster is second. Let's Roar is third, and then it is I'm a Diabolical, Little Bearcat and Vanna's Cam is trailing the field. Better Kiss the Man at even money for Anthony Hahn. Leads by about 2.5 lengths over Latte Sealster. Let's Roar is third, and then it is I'm Diabolical, Little Bearcat, and Vanna's Cam. 28-1 was the opening quarter. Better Kiss the Man leads as they're about to race off the turn and head towards the half. Latte Sealster and Jay Harris racing the pocket. Let's Roar and Brett McDonald is positioned third as they come off the turn and roll on towards us. And then I'm Diabolical, and then it is back to Little Bearcat and Vanna's Cam. Off at 28-1 opening quarter, they get to the halftime recorded in 58-1. 30-second second panel for Better Kiss the Man. Let's Roar to the outside now is challenging first up. Latte Sealster on the inside is still holding on to second, two off the lead. But now on the outside, Let's Roar is taking over second. Latte Sealster third. I'm Diabolical as well. Spotted second over fourth. Then it is back to Little Bearcat and Vanna's Cam. They race on to three quarters. It is Better Kiss the Man. Let's Roar to the outside. And then moving up, I'm Diabolical on the back of Let's Roar. Latte Sealster for three quarters, 127-1. Better Kiss the Man. Let's Roar. I'm Diabolical is within striking distance and moves down to the inside. But it is Better Kiss the Man as they turn for home. Better Kiss the Man and Let's Roar. I'm Diabolical down to the inside. Better Kiss the Man as they come on down the stretch right. Better Kiss the Man continues on. Second was I'm Diabolical, then Let's Roar, and Latte Sealster 156-1. Better Kiss the Man was bet down to even money and lived up to it, Rob.
Yeah, I think that price maybe ended up a little bit short, but definitely deserving to be the favorite on here. And I can always bet Anthony Hahn with confidence, and I loved what he did here. Went right to the front with this one. And, she didn't make a mistake this time around, Gary. There was no early hole to climb out of. Right on the front end, nice 30-second second quarter rating, and she banged home in 58 seconds flat, and no one was going to touch her.
Yeah, and if we were doubting at all I'm Diabolical because of stepping up in class, Travis gave this one a good second over Trippin. There is I'm Diabolical, only beaten a length and a half. One to keep an eye on that has proven that start last week was not a fluke.
Yeah, and I felt strongly about the top two in here being Better Kiss the Men and I'm Diabolical. Better Kiss the Men was my single on the pick five. Of course, we went dead in the first leg, but I thought that this one kind of stood out. But if I went too deep, it would have been I'm Diabolical, my second choice. And I think that you can definitely go back to that one next time. She maybe had to get acclimated to that class moving up, and she should be good to go next time, especially if she draws inside again.
Now, the argument that I would make for 6 Let's Roar, why I thought this one might be second, but that first up trip might have precluded Let's Roar from finishing second. Did a lot of work, though, and didn't look bad.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, it was a difficult task to go first over, especially after this one got a 30-second breather in the second quarter. Definitely one you want to watch for next time.
On the board, we have a 3-4-6-2, top four, and back in front of us. Number 3, Better Kiss the Man, a 3-year-old better than Cheddar Bay filly, owned by Robert Shepard and Isabel Darvaux. Isabel Darvaux is the trainer. Anthony Hahn is the winning driver. It is the 4th win this year in Lifetime. Better Kiss the Man. 156-1. The third race payouts 3 Better Kiss the Man for $30 to $80 to $10 for I'm Diabolical $3 to $20 6 Let's Roar $2.20 $2 exact or $11.80 dollar try $13.05 and the dollar super $31.10. The third race order finish from the top says scratch 412536. That's scratch 412536.
All right, folks. Well, it's time to take a look at race number 4. We've got filly and mares on the pace, non-winners of 25,000 life. And I'm going to go to number 5, Century Georgia, in this one. And I feel strongly about this mare. I thought she raced fantastic in all 3 of her starts at the age of 4. She's been the runner-up in each of those efforts. And last year she won 6 of 19 and hit the board in 11 of 19. So I don't know. I think that right now at 9-2, now 4-1, she's certainly the value on the board. And my top selection, another one that I considered singling in the pick 5 wager. Her first starts of the season here, opening night, she went first over a long way to JM R. Mockmel and ended up finishing a good second. Finished second, beating only ahead to Bet You Love Me, who's in this race. That was over at Sarnia. And then last time got beat by a couple lengths to Flossie at Georgian Downs. So I just think that Century Georgia is one that, might continue, stepping forward. And this looks like a good spot for her to break through with a victory. She picks up Colin Kelly, and he's been driving fantastic as of late. So I don't mind taking the 4-1 right now on number 5, Century Georgia, as my top selection. And for second, I like number 3, Share the Moment. We were on this one last time, and Travis Cullen got the job done for us. She won by half a length up the passing lane. Was a short price on that occasion, and she's getting bet again today, 6-5. I would certainly opt off, though, at those odds and look in a different direction, like number 5, Century Georgia. But I do think that Share the Moment is one you need to consider and should be part of that early pace scenario from post number 3. And for third, number 2, Carnival Heart. Well, 2 starts back, won by a neck at 51-1, then got hammered down last time to just what was that, 6-5 odds. Got picked up late by Share the Moment, and was one last time that I kind of said, you know what, you can't not be on board at 51-1 and then take 6-5. It's just something you can't do. Well, tonight 7-1, different story. If you like this one, you can probably fire away. Decent post to work from. Raced well enough last time. Got beat by a horse that did get a pretty favorable trip in behind. But again, I would say, I'd prefer Century Georgia and Share the Moment over Carnival Heart, but 12-1 right now on Carnival Heart is certainly a nice price. And then in for fourth, I've got number 7, Bet You Love Me. Last time in the Prospect Series, ended up finishing fourth to Always Watching, who's been racing really well as of late, and did get a pair of wins before that. And it wasn't too bad either in her debut this season at Clinton. 2 wins and 4 starts this year. One that does merit respect in here, but the problem for me, as it usually will be, post 7 is a very difficult spot here, and I'm not sure how she gets into the race. If she tries to leave out of there, she might get used pretty hard early. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I see, though, that Ken Middleton does put her on top, and right now she's 14-1 and providing lots of value. But for me, though, I am sticking with number 5, Century Georgia. I'm a big fan of this horse. I've liked the way she's raced in all 3 of her starts this year, and I think tonight might be the night she breaks through. Underneath, number 3, Share the Moment, then number 2, Carnival Heart, and number 7, Bet You Love Me. But we'll come back and talk about this race a little further after the post break.
Field for the 4th race on Parade 1. Joliet Hanover Patrick Shepard for Joe Travis and Forrest Bartlett. Number 2 is Carnival Heart. Chamberlain over Julie Walker and Terry Fry. That is Dr. Terry Fry and Darlene Carr. And 3, Share the Moment, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen. Number 4 is Rose Run Vigilant. J.R. Plot drives and trades for Colette Gallant. Number 5 is Century Georgia. Colin Kelly for Peter Brickman and Aaron Swainson Brickman. And number 6, Sugar Shadow, Bruce Richardson for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. Number 7, Bet You Love Me, Anthony Hunt for Jeffrey Williamson and Rebecca Williamson and Connie McTaggart. And number 8 is Witness in the Shadow, Brent McDonough for Bud Sinclair and Lindsay Sinclair. Field of 8, race number 4. Phillies Mares. We'll take a look at this field. And we'll start with number 5, Century Georgia. Both Rob and I have this one on top. Century Georgia, second at Georgian Downs last time out. Note that Flossie was the winner there. Century Georgia, a good second. Flossie since came back to win just a couple days ago, Saturday night at Georgian Downs. So Century Georgia, that's a good measuring stick. And also has been racing consistently well here so far this year for Peter Brickman. Colin Kelly drove that last start up at Georgian Downs as well with Century Georgia, Rob.
Yeah, and she looks good on the track, and Colin got to sit behind her on that occasion, and I think that tonight might be the night she breaks through with a victory this season. 6-1 on the board, Gary. That is a giant-sized price on this mare, in my opinion. I think that qualifier, even on June the 2nd, where she was a winner, ended up being a key qualifier for me. And all 3 of her runner-up finishes were solid efforts from this mare. So maybe she shakes loose from the seconditis tonight with a win. And right now, 7-1. It even gets better.
Number 3, Share the Moment, is right now the 3-2 betting favorite. And sat the back of Carnival Heart and then beat that one up the lane. Even though they got a soft half of 59-1, Share the Moment was still able to get the job done with a 28-1 final quarter. You get Travis Cullen and Jody Cullen.
Yeah, this was one of my best bets of the evening on June the 28th, and got hammered down to be the favorite in that race, but got a perfect drive from Travis Cullen, came out the passing lane late, and you even noted that she was just ready to strike from that pocket position, and she did. She ended up being a nice winner. 6-5, I don't know, probably a little too short for me.
There's Ken Middleton's one that isn't too short. 13-1. Bet You Love Me. Does have a couple of wins on the air, but definitely the post position isn't very good. But look, it was fourth to Always Watching last time out, and that's that big 52 and 1 mile that Always Watching put up.
Yeah, and Anthony Hahn just got a win in the last race, and this horse certainly merits respect. For me, it all came down to post. I slotted her in the fourth spot. She would have been slotted in much higher if she drew, a better post position. It's so difficult to win from the 7 and 8 hole here at Grand River, and that's why you're getting 11-1 right now.
11-1 on that one. Now one that was a little higher and I thought would stay higher. And I'm going to tell you about one Joliet Hanover and why I used this one on my ticket. Not on the top, actually third though. Joliet Hanover was won the first 3 starts for a career as a 2-year-old for Casey Coleman Herlihy, and the third of those was 52-2 as a 2-year-old. But then came here last September 4th in a gold and was 3-5. And made a break. A nice $50,000 yearling that's a well-met one. Even went up to Woodbine for another try on the gold October 5th and made a break there. So she has had some problems staying flat. But there's some big-time wheels there if she could get it together.
Oh, definitely. She was highly regarded as a rookie, and I remember each one of those winning efforts, and they were all very impressive. Concern for me is she's kind of been a funny going one at times, and the half-mile service, not sure how much she's going to enjoy it. We'll see tonight. She does have the pole position, certainly good enough. If she minds her manners and can be even a fraction of what she used to be.
13-1 is a fair price right now, at least to maybe use towards the bottom of the ticket. But if you're looking for a flyer and wanted a price, it might be a shot, but definitely needs to stay flat. And there's number 2, Carnival Heart. Look, maybe I was a little overly critical of her last race when she got the 59 and 1/2 and didn't hold on to win and hold off Share the Moment. But still, it was a 56 and 2 mile and did stick around to be beaten just half a length. Carnival Heart has looked good.
And that's what the odds boards do to our expectations, right, Gary? 51-1 last time, or 2 starts ago. And if she was that price last time, you'd say, wow, that was a great effort. You know what? I do think she should have been able to close that one out. I certainly think you're not wrong with that. But it was still, a decent enough effort that you've got to consider her as a win candidate in this race.
Right now, she is bet all the way down to 8-5 on the board. But your top pick in this race and mine, 5 Century Georgia, is 7-2, I think, offering the value play at this point. It is a field of 8 for the 4th race. Shaking up positions. Joliet Hanover, Carnival Heart, and Share the Moment on the inside. In the center, Rose Run Vigilant, Century Georgia. To the outside, Sugar Shadow, Bet You Love Me, and Witness in the shadow. It's a field of 8 for race number 4. They're approaching the top of the stretch. Field for the 4th race is at the start of the rough, and Joliet Hanover spots the field about 4 or 5 lengths, and Share the Moment's the first one to leave home. Then Rose Run Vigilant and Carnival Heart, and then at a Century Georgia, Joliet Hanover, Sugar Shadow, Bet You Love Me, and Witness in the shadow. Into the backstretch they go. Rose Run Vigilant, and J.R. Plot is able to grab the early lead as they race their way on into the backstretch, but Share the Moment wants to come right back around now and reclaim the front. It's going to be Share the Moment who doesn't want to share the lead. Blood's hit alone and has got it. Rose Run Vigilant is second. Carnival Heart is third. And then racing fourth is Century Georgia in front of Sugar Shadow. Bet You Love Me. Joliet Hanover second from last, and Witness in the shadow is trailing the field. 28-2 the opening quarter. And it is Share the Moment and Travis Cullen who's got the lead. Rose Run Vigilant in the pocket. Carnival Heart is racing third. Then Century Georgia is fourth and about 5 or 6 off the lead. And then it is back to Sugar Shadow and Bet You Love Me. There goes Witness in the shadow. Joliet Hanover is racing from a trailing spot and moves to the outside. 58 seconds flat the halftime. Share the Moment and Travis Cullen into the backstretch. They go. Leads Rose Run Vigilant at 18-1. who's right there in full bloom in the pocket. And Carnival Heart is racing third. Witness in the Shadow is fourth. And now Bet You Love Me is moving. And then it is back to Sugar Shadow. And Joliet Hanover, and all the way back to trailing the field is Century Georgia. And they hustle on to 3/4. Here comes Carnival Heart on the move now, trying to track down Share the Moment. 3/4, 127 and 2, and Rose Run Vigilant is third, and Bet You Love Me is racing fourth, and then Witness in the Shadow and Joliet Hanover share the moment as they race for the top of the stretch. Carnival Heart is trying to call her Share the Moment, but Share the Moment is still moving very well and is clear on the field. Share the Moment does not want to share, wants it all alone and gets it by with 3.5. Carnival Heart was second, Rose Run Vigilant third, and Bet You Love Me fourth, 155 and 3. Got a half of 58, and then it was a Good Night Nurse as a Share the Moment was able to just keep on driving, Robert.
Yeah, and another Robert off angle on this one. Last time I loved this one and went off, to go in the direction of her 5 Century Georgia. Something definitely would have missed with that mare tonight. She kind of just let go down the backside there and finished distance to the field. But wow, Share the Moment was, much the best tonight. Travis Cullen wanted the front end with her. He got there, and like you said, Gary, after a 58 half, it was good night. 55 and 3 for the mile. Nice job by number 3, Share the Moment.
Number 2, Carnival Heart, actually was digging nicely, and although does finish second, nothing to be negative about Carnival Heart in that effort.
No, she did her job, right? She got away in the 3-hole, and she really was up against it. Moving first over against this one, JBR did a good job to move later on in the mile, and that definitely secured second for that filly. Rose Run Vigilant, one that we usually land on, Gary, ended up finishing third at 18-1. This was a tougher spot today. Nice effort, though. And Bet You Love Me is one we're going to circle for next time. Nice effort from the 7-hole to finish fourth at 16-1.
Yeah, definitely Rose Run Vigilant after leaving hard and then getting looped by Share the Moment. I thought might not be able to stick around for a big prize at 18-1, but helps the ticket. We get a 3-2-4-7 with Share the Moment on top. Coming back in front of us is the winner of race number 4. It's number 3, Share the Moment, a 3-year-old Control the Moment black filly, owned by Travis Cullen, trained by Jody Cullen. Travis Cullen's the winning driver. It's the 3rd win this year and the 7th lifetime for Share the Moment, mile of 155 and 3. The 4th race payouts: 3, Share the Moment, 460, 250, 210, 2, Carnival Heart, 280, and 270, and 4, Rose Run Vigilant, 610, $2 exactor, $9, $10 try, $38.80, $1 super, 204.60. The fourth race over a finish from the top is 621 38547. That's 621 38547.
All right, folks. Well, it's time to take a look at race number 5. It is the start of the pick 3, and it's the money leg for our pick 5. And well, if horses 1 through 5 win, there'll be a winner tonight, ranging from $329 all the way up to $1,100, just a 20-cent wager. But if number 6 wins, River Dolly, there will be another carryover. But in this race for horses and geldings, claimers $15,000 for non-winners, of $15,000 life on the pace. I am going to number 5, AJ Knight. I thought this one raced well last time, and going into this class and getting tagged for the first time, ended up racing third over, moved wide around the final turn, and really kind of coasted up towards the lead before getting beat by a very slim margin to number 2, Tradition. And I think that AJ Knight probably couldn't see that horse because he was out wide and kind of charging up towards the lead, and Tradition came out the passing lane. So I don't know. I thought AJ Knight raced really well, all things considered, and I think that in this compact field tonight, he can kind of race however he wants, even getting away towards the back and then making a similar move like last time. And, maybe this time he gets his nose on the wire first. 5-2 seems like the right price right now on number 5, AJ Knight, and he is my top selection. For second, number 4, The Devil You Know, picks up Anthony Hahn. We saw that work out earlier on tonight for Better Kiss the Men, and might work out for this one too. This one drops into the condition claiming ranks after racing in straight non-winners of $18,000 last time, and picking up smaller shares, racing in non-winners classes without a price tag, and now, gets that price tag and is one you need to consider. 4-1 on the board right now. That seems like a pretty solid price on The Devil You Know, who might be able to come up with a better effort in this softer company tonight. And then in for third for me, number 3, Catch Me If Lou Can. Last time, first over a long way, and ended up finishing fourth, beaten just a length and a half. Took a lot of money on that occasion. Was hammered down to be the odds-on favorite, and did produce a decent effort to be fourth. This time around now picks up Colin Kelly in the bike. Even money in the board right now is too short of a price for me, but certainly Catch Me If Lou Can is one you have to consider. And then I did throw number 2 Tradition, the horse that won this class last time. I put him in the 4th spot. And really it comes down to the fact that the same reason why, I went against In This Together earlier on in the card. This horse did, get the benefit of getting a pretty cozy trip before coming up the passing lane late for Brett McDonald. Did win by a neck. Like I said, I'm not so sure that AJ Knight saw this one on his inside. And really, couldn't get too racy to be competitive to hold him off. But, this one did do well to come up the passing lane, but it was a perfect trip. I thought Tradition would get more action tonight. He is the favorite in that pick 5 wager right now, but he's 6-1 on the board. So that price is a lot better than I was expecting, but I do think he'll take a lot more support come post time. And that's why I sided against him. I thought he's going to take a lot of support tonight. Let's go a different direction because he might need another favorable trip to get the job done tonight. For me, it is number 5, AJ Knight on top of number 4, The Devil You Know, number 3, Catch Me If You Can, and number 2, Tradition. But we'll come back and take a closer look at this race number 5, the money leg of the pick 5 wager, after the post parade with Gary Guy.
Field 4, race number 5 on parade. 1, Chuck Eaton Love, Nick Stewart for Caleb Stevens and Nicole Loeffler. Number 2, Tradition, Brett McDonald for Nikki Comegna and Bruno Comegna. And number 3, Catch Me If You Can, Colin Keller for Tisha Symes and Charles Symes. Number 4, The Devil You Know, Anthony Hahn for Isabel Darvaux and Duncan and Shirley Bust. And 5 is AJ Knight, Caliber for Greg Campbell and Angelo DeLellis. Number 6, River Dally, Caliber for Larry Fitzsimmons and Mike Arndt. Field of 6, race number 5. Let's get a look at this field. And first up, we're going to be taking a look at. The first one we're going to take a look at will be number 5, AJ Knight, who is Rob's top pick in this one. Now, doesn't have a win in 7 starts this year, but 5 top 3s, and there is AJ Knight, fresh off his second beaten a neck to Tradition last time out.
Yeah, a little bit surprised horse isn't taking more support. It was first time he was in for a condition claiming tag last time, and I thought he raced really well. Third over, moved wide around the turn, and he marched up and took the lead in the stretch before Tradition came up to the passing lane to beat him. I firmly believe this horse could not see that one, and if he had, he may have got a little bit racy and held him off. But 9-1 is a real big price on AJ Knight.
Well, one that's offering less of a price, but is my top pick, is number 4, The Devil You Know. And I should tell you my thoughts on number 4, The Devil You Know, is one that, raced last July, the first start. Didn't race as a 2-year-old, raced for Isabel Darvaux last July. First start off the shelf was a 52-1 mile at Mohawk for The Devil You Know. And also did win back-to-back races here last summer. One of them was 55-4. The other one was really impressive. Post 8 was able to score a win after being 8th at the quarter. The Devil You Know also a win at Flamborough. But drops in class. If you look at the speed, 56-2 here last time out, actually is quicker than AJ Knight's 57-2 last time out. The class drop for me, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the horse this one's been racing against, much tougher. Southwind Sanador, First Glance, and Gary, your horse, Harper's Hat Trick, who you took a big stand with on Friday night. Any one of those, I think you would take at odds-on status in this class. So certainly merits respect. And 3-1, I think you're getting a much better price now.
Took a bunch of early money, but now has come up with. Now the money's on number 3, Catch Me If Lou Can. 57 and 3 mile to finish fourth, but only beaten a length and a half and worked hard in that one.
Yeah, it looks very sharp in the track too, and was well meant in that effort. Took, like you said, took a ton of support at the windows, and went first over a long way before finishing fourth, beating a length and a half off the win. Again, looks really good on the track right now, though.
And that was Bo Brown. Now Colin Kelly will get the steer here with Catch Me Lou Can, and Colin sporting a 3:32 driving average and driving here for Tisha Symes with Catch Me Lou Can. 8, now 9-5 on the board. Number 2 Tradition. I was able to score a win with this one last time, so you think I'd come right back to it, but no, I hopped off. No disrespect to Tradition, and Brett McDonald gave this one a really nice drive and was able to get the job done up the passing lane, as you mentioned, 57 and 2. There is Brett and Tradition on the track.
Yeah, that's why I kind of took a stand against this one. Similar for me. There's no disrespect. I thought the horse raced well to win by a neck last time. I just think that he needed a lot of things to go his way for him to get the job done, and it was a perfect steer by Brett McDonald, and certainly capable of giving him one of those again tonight. 2-1. I thought this horse would even be a shorter price than that, but I do like siding against ones that kind of get those picture perfect trips like this one did last time.
Well, number 2 Tradition is 2-1. 3 Catch Me If Lou Can is 2-1. Down on the inside, a horse I'm interested to see how he races is 1 Chuck Heaton Love, and only because if you look at that last race at Georgian on the sloppy track, parked every step of the way and didn't really back away. And you also see some front-end efforts. In fact, won at London off the front on April Fool's Day, and also a couple times last November, one at London and one at Flamborough. The one at Flamborough was by 5. The one at London was out of post 7 and by 4 lengths.
Yeah, this is certainly one that right now is starting to take some more money at 6-1. Last time an open claimer at Georgian Downs. I love betting open claimers that move to condition claiming ranks, and maybe that's an angle on this one right now. 6-1, pole position, might be onto something there, Gary.
We'll see how it unfolds in the 5th race. Chuck Heaton Love on the inside with Tradition. In the center, Catch Me If Lou Can, the devil you know. The outside, AJ Knight and River Dally. It is a field of 6. Race number 5, and it is post time. Here they come. Field of 6 for the 5th race. Into the stretch drive, gathering speed. There at the start of the round, Chuck Heaton Love on the inside, bursts out sharply, then Catch Me If Lou Can. Tradition on the inside, the devil you know. And then it is AJ Knight and River Dally, but right now Chuck Heaton Love has got the lead as they work into the backstretch. But Catch Me If Lou Can wants to come on now and play Catch Me If You Can, and has taken the lead, and Chuck Heaton Love is second. Then the devil you know is third away. Tradition's racing fourth, and AJ Knight in front of River Dally, the trailer. They race on to the opening quarter. Catch Me If Lou Can. Now it's 7-2 on the board. Racing on the lead as they roll past that opening quarter. Chuck Heaton Love is in the pocket, and the devil you know is racing third. Then Tradition is fourth, and AJ Knight and River Dally 6 in a line. 28-3 the opening quarter, and it is Catch Me If Lou Can who has the lead for Colin Kelly as they race off the turn and has an advantage right now of about a length and 3/4. Chuck Heaton Love is getting up a little closer in the pocket. Here comes the devil you know now. Is striding up sharply first over. Tradition is well spotted second over fourth. And then it is AJ Knight and River Dally. They work their way into the backstretch off a 58-1 halftime. Catch Me If Lou Can still has the front. Chuck Heaton Love is right there in the pocket still. The devil you know grinding first up is about 2 1/4 off the lead. And then it is Tradition, and AJ Knight is working a little closer but still has work to do. And now the devil you know is starting to fire hard. The devil you know against Catch Me If Lou Can. The devil you know comes on to take the lead over Catch Me If You Can. Tradition is on the outside and now digging back on the inside. Catch Me If You Can has reclaimed the lead from the Devil You Know. And then it is Chuck Eaton, Love and Tradition. And then AJ Knight, 3/4, 127. But not done yet is the Devil You Know. The Devil You Know is charging again. The Devil You Know. And Catch Me If You Can. The Devil You Know is able to win it. And then Catch Me If You Can was second. Tradition finished a third. And then the fourth was Chuck Eaton, Love, 156-1. The Devil You Know was able to get the job done. The Devil, you say, Rob?
Yeah, nice pick, Gary. 6-5 though. I guess you must have hammered this one down late because all the late money came in on this one. And what an interesting race! The makeup of that race was very, odd to me because Catch Me If You Can had the lead. Looked like you put away Devil You Know for a minute, and then all of a sudden this one came back on again and won with ease. So very interesting makeup to that race, but a huge effort from the Devil You Know and Anthony Hahn with another win on the card.
Yes, and number 2, Tradition, got the perfect trip. Now, did eventually manage to finish third in behind the two that did all the work. But Tradition was solid to finish third, but got a second over trip.
Yeah, it looked like he was actually going to kind of pack it in at one point, and then all of a sudden came on again. So, like I said, it was a real interesting, race the way it all panned out. Catch Me If You Can looked great on the front end for most of the mile. Colin Kelly gave that one every chance. Anthony Hahn, though, had other ideas from the first over spot with the Devil You Know. My selection, AJ Knight, ended up, in a pretty tough spot third over again and tried to move 3 wide down the backside, and it didn't work out for that one. But he wasn't in the same league as these ones tonight.
And number 1, Chuck Eaton, Love, flashing the early speed as I might have expected in it. And then Chuck Eaton, Love was actually able to stick around for a fourth, maybe one to at least to keep an eye on because that was a solid outing.
Yeah, definitely. And, he ended up kind of in a tough spot, too, when the horse on the outside first over has momentum and the horse in the lead kind of starts slowing down a bit, and he's in the pocket behind them. I overlooked that one tonight. I was a little bit worried off the gate, Gary, but ended up finishing fourth. So.
And on the board, we have a 4-3-2-1. But back in front of us is number 4, the Devil You Know, a 4-year-old Dally Brown gelding, owned by Duncan and Shirley Bust. The trainer is Isabel Darvaux. And the winning drive to Anthony Hahn, the driving double for Anthony Hahn. The Devil You Know's first win this year and the 4th lifetime mile of 156-1. The Devil You Know. The 5th race of payouts number 4, the Devil You Know, $453 to 63. Catch Me If You Can, $390 to 72. Tradition, $230. $2 exactor, $21.70. Try, $21.65. Superfecta, $85.60. Pick 5, 5 of 5, $2,403.65. Ka-ching. The fifth race, order of finish from the top, is a 4-3-2-1-6-5. That's 4-3-2-1-6-5.
All right, everyone. Well, it's time for race number 6. It is the payoff leg of our early pick four. Good luck if you're still alive on your wagers. And it's also one of my favorite wagers now. The super high five for a low denomination of 20 cents. Start mapping out your tickets because the payouts are usually spectacular on that wager. And this is the preferred 3 for horses and geldings on the pace, and it's an open draw event. We're used to seeing a preferred 2 and 3 combined with a handicapped post positions for all the horses. So this is an open draw event. And, well, I am going to number 6, Bit of Luck, and I was hoping for around this price, 6-1. I thought his last effort was a real nice one. Granted, it was from the pole position. He was able to leave off the inside and held a healthy margin throughout to score in 53-2. That was a rock solid effort by this son of Cam Luck and 20-time winner. I think that this one will have a big chance again today. Moving up to the preferred rank, but I do like this one's hopes at 6-1 on the board. Colin Kelly in the bike, and I'm certainly okay with being in this one's corner at that price. And for second, number 1, Shades of Bay. Well, he's been getting nice posts in the preferred handicap races. He also draws well, too, because he's got the pole position now for a third consecutive start. And you look at his program, he does not have a post outside of number 3. And really, he just keeps on getting shares and picking up pieces. Only one winner, 9 starts this year, but he's hit the board 8 times over that stretch, and I think he's one you cannot leave off your ticket, but somehow he doesn't get respect on the board. 14-1 right now, and number 1, Shades of Bay. He's my second choice. If you like the 1, you got to like the 9, so number 9, Jules Dragon, I've got him for third. Nice effort last time, and non-winners of 2,000 last 3. Dominant victory from that pole position. Should get away well following out Shades of Bay from the rail. Jody Cullen, Travis Cullen are a pair you can never, count out, and this horse is certainly good enough to do well in here if he can get spotted well from that second tier spot. And for fourth, number 7, Crosscut. Certainly going to have a difficult time with that outside post, but he was a nice winner in the preferred 2 and 3 combined handicap on June the 14th. First over effort on that occasion. If J.R. Plonk can work out some kind of a trip for Crosscut, he's one that has a chance to win, and I see that Ken Middleton puts him on top in his selections right now. 3-1 on Crosscut is probably a little bit short for me anyways. But number 8, Adore Him, is one that I did slot in for 5th. He was 5-2 in the morning line. Right now, 23-1 on the board. 3 wins in a row, and impressive ones too from post 7. 1 at Sarnia, 2 at Clinton. Post 8 here is probably a little more tricky, but certainly one that deserves probably a little more support than 23-1. With what he's been doing lately, I just think he's going to have a difficult time from that post 8 tonight, but certainly one that, you're going to want to use on the bottom end of your super high 5 and an overlay right now down to 19-1, but still an overlay at that price. But for me, I'm going to go with Bit of Luck and hope this one can, kind of parlay that last effort into another one tonight. He should be feeling confident after winning the upper condition here at Grand River, and now maybe he can get the job done in the preferred 3, currently 5-1 on the board. The horse will be coming out shortly, and after the post parade, we'll come back and talk about this race a little further with Gary Guy.
Field for the 6th on parade 1, Shades of Bay, Austin Sorry for Joe Pereira and Maple Leaf Racing. Number 2, Whitmere Roland Pop, wrapping down for Tom Riley and Amanda Riley and Steve McGill. Number 3 is Mr. Kelly, Scott Culver, Robert Kyle Fellows, and Robert Watson and Armando Campus City. And Mike Bartram. Number 4 is Dream for BJ Nick Boyd for Bobby Joe Weinhold Harris and John Lamers. And number 5, Freddie Bear, Jason Ryan for a numbered company from Ottawa. And number 6 is Bit of Luck, Colin Keller for Tisha Symes and Michael Goldberg. Number 7, Crosscut, J.R. Plot for Anthony Beaton and SSG Stables. Number 8, Adore Him, Travis Henry for Kurt Blake and Robert Blake. And 9, Jules Dragon, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen and Paul Sanders. Field of 9, race number 6, featuring the Super High 5. And Rob, each of the 3 handicappers have a different top horse, but we're going to show you the respect and go to your horse first. Number 6, Bit of Luck, romped against a lesser field and now is in tougher, but the speed would compare really well here.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, he, in general, is a horse that can fare well in a preferred 3 type race. He looks good on the track right now. Last time, you think he needed that pole position to get his confidence back. It was certainly a rock-solid effort, and right now he looks really sharp on the track for Colin Kelly.
5-1 on number 6, Bit of Luck, one that you use on top of your pick 5. And number 5, Freddie Bear is my top pick. I thought this one would be a price. Well, I'm getting a price at 18-1. Now, that last line, sometimes I like jumping on a horse when I anticipate everybody else jumping off a horse. And Freddie Bear did a lot to have you like this one before the last race. And the last race wasn't bad, but 7th, beaten 4, came home 28-1. But I have loved this horse in the past. This horse has done more than enough in this class in the past for me to take a shot here at a price 18-1, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. That price is huge. Now down to 13-1, but has hit the board in 7 of 9 this season. Was a runner-up in the preferred 2-3 combined handicap. Back-to-back weeks. Had post 5 now for the fourth consecutive start. Actually, fifth consecutive start from this post. I know. I think that you certainly can't go wrong taking 14-1 on this one.
Number 7, Crosscut, is Kenny's top pick. Makes an equipment change, pelling pacifier to blind bridle, and is one that was a fifth beaten 4 3/4 last time out, and that's after parking every step of the way. So Crosscut is definitely one that could bounce back off of that very tough trip. 5-1.
Yeah, now gets to face, a preferred 3 group exclusively instead of that combined class. He was a real nice winner on June the 14th, first over, and looked like he had lots left in the tank when he crossed the wire. Came out of a key qualifier on June 5th at Mohawk Park. I think he's got excuses in each of his last 2. If he did not have that outside post 7, I certainly would have ranked him a lot higher than the 4th spot that I put him in tonight.
Now, we've talked about the 5, 6, 7, but on a half-mile track, well, 1, Shades of Bay, should be talked about because of the post, but also because he's a good horse.
Yeah, definitely. He's hit the board in 8 of 9 this season. Just 1 win, and 21 wins lifetime though, over 330,000 in the bank. And what has he done wrong lately here at Grand River? Third in the preferred 2-3 combined. Third there again, 3 starts back. Second by a neck in the top condition here on June 28th, and he always seems to draw a good post too. He's getting respect now at 3-1. But still one that you can certainly not leave off anywhere in your exotics.
Well, look at who he finished third to. Sportsline. If Sportsline was in here with a reasonable post, we would be all over Sportsline. This one beaten a length and a half, and post 1 again. Number 9, Jules Dragon, is 5-2 on the board. The trailer post, but it's Travis Cullen, Jody Cullen. Thing to note, though, although racing really well, he is moving up a level, and the trailer post, I'm surprised with that money.
Yeah, it's for me that last effort was really impressive, but it is a double jump in class, right? He's skipping over the top condition right to the preferred 3. But if you like Shades of Bay, you got to like Jules Dragon, and if this one can ever get a favorable trip, I think he's got a chance. But I do agree, I think the price is a little too short right now at 3-1.
Yeah, Dorham comes in with 3 consecutive wins, and is one that you can like on form, but the post position 9-1, but at least one might be able to find a way onto a ticket. Certainly shows the form.
Yeah, definitely an overlay right now at 10-1, the way he's been racing.
The field for race number 6 taking up positions, and it's Shades of Bay, Woodmere, Rollin' Pop, and Mr. Kelly on the inside. In the center, Dream Fair, BJ, Freddie Bear to the outside, Bit of Luck and Crosscut, and adore him in the second tier. Jules Dragon, field of 9, a good field for the 6th race, featuring the Super High 5, and they're at the top of the stretch. Here they come. Field for the 6th race. He is at the start of the rough, and Mr. Kelly leaving with Shades of Bay, Woodmere, Rollin' Pop, and Freddie Bear is snuggled into the front 4 as they work around that first turn. Then down to the inside, Jules Dragon. Then it is back to Bit of Luck, who's moving on the outside now and taking over 5th, and then Jules Dragon. And then it is Dreamfair, BJ, Crosscut, and adore him. And now Mr. Kelly and Scott Calder has come on to get the lead. Woodmere, Rollin' Pop is second. Shades of Bay is third. And Freddie Bear is on the inside 4th in front of Bit of Luck, and then it is Jules Dragon, Dreamfair, BJ, Crosscut second from last, and then it is Adore Him. Opening quarter, a solid 27-1, and it is Mr. Kelly and Scotty Calder at 9-1 with the lead. Whitmere, Rollin' Pop at 18-1 sits the pocket. There goes Shades of Bay to come first over, and Bit of Luck and Colin Kelly will get a trip second over, and on the inside, that is Freddie Bear. Now Jules Dragon is third over into the flow, and now has moved up to take over 5th. Freddie Bear is racing 6th, Dreamfair, BJ 7th, and Crosscut is 8th, and then Adore Him. 56-4 is the halftime, and trying to clear to the lead is Shades of Bay, but Mr. Kelly is still fighting on the inside. Shades of Bay and Mr. Kelly and Bit of Luck is within striking distance now. Shades of Bay takes over the lead. Bit of Luck to the outside. Mr. Kelly on the inside hasn't thrown in the towel. There's a length back, and then it is Woodmere, Rollin' Pop, and then it is Jules Dragon, and now Freddie Bear is finding a seam and moves up. They hustle on to 3/4, and right now it is Shades of Bay who's got the lead. Mr. Mr. Kelly on the inside. Freddie Bear is sneaking up on the back of Shades of Bay out wide. There goes Jules Dragon. And bit of luck, and then on the inside, Whitmere rolling, popping. Crosscut, they're bunching up the top 7. They turn for home. Handed is Shades of Bay. Shades of Bay and Freddie Bear, and on the outside, Jules Dragon and Mr. Kelly. On down to the finish they come. Jules Dragon. Shades of Bay was second. Then Freddie Bear and Mr. Kelly, 154-1. Travis Cullen and Jules Dragon was able to get this one a gem of a trip and then get the job done. That was a great dash, Rob.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, Gary, what a great horse race that was. What you want to see, really, out of every race. There was racing there at every point in the mile. And, Jules Dragon, great steer by Travis Cullen. What an effort from Shades of Bay again, though. I mean, he can't get into the win column again, but he hits the board. Tough trip, first over a long, long way. I think Austin Story thought he might clear, pretty early on there, and then had to rough it out there before Jules Dragon cruised by late under a slick steer by Travis Cullen.
Yeah, Travis Cullen coming by late. And number 1, Shades of Bay, as you mentioned. Second, Freddie Bear was stick handling through, finding a seam on the back of Shades of Bay, but still had some work to do. It managed at a price to come on and finish third. And that was really a great, great dash. I was really excited in that one. The trailer post gets the job done at 7-2, and Travis Cullen, one of my favorite drivers, and of course a top barn in Jody Cullen.
Oh, absolutely. And what do we always say, Gary? If you like the 1, you got to like the 9, and that's the way they ran there because Jules Dragon got the perfect trip on the back of, behind a bit of luck, because my horse actually got the perfect trip behind Shades of Bay and couldn't fire, but this one was behind that one and fired home nicely. It comes in 9-1, and this should pay well in the Super High 5.
Full marks for Mr. Kelly doing all that work early and still sticking around, and Crosscut was able to at least overcome post 7 to get a 5th. Back in front of us is number 9, Jules Dragon, 5-year-old Custard the Dragon Brown gelding, owned by Paul Sanders. Jody Collins, the trainer. Travis Cullen, the winning driver. It is the 3rd win on the year, 18th lifetime for Jules Dragon, and the driving double for Travis Cullen on the evening. 154-1, Jules Dragon. The 6th race payout tonight, Jules Dragon, 910, 382.91. Shades of Bay, $3 to 45. Freddie Bear, 410. $2 exactor, 43.90. Dollar try, 72.20. Dollar win for 246.85. Dollar high 5, $2,772. The sixth race or a finish from the top, 264 937 581. That's 264 937 581.
All right, folks, well, it's time to take a look at race number 7. This is for filly and mares claimers, $7,000 for non-winners of 1,500, their last 5. And, well, in this one, I think there's a horse that really stands out, and that's number 3, Edam's Princess. I thought this one, should have a pretty big edge in here. Last time, it does say that she raced in a claiming condition race, but that condition was a much tougher condition, we'll say, than the group that she does face tonight. And this one is for non-winners of 1,500 last 5 or a race in 2021. So I think Edam's Princess finishing third in that effort, and it was a decent one where there was a dominant winner in that contest. I think that, before that, two opened claiming company races for Edam's Princess. I think she is a bit of a standout on paper, and it was also a standout when I watched the replays for this one. But right now, 4 to 5, not really the price you want to take in one of these, condition claimer type races, but I do think she is the one to beat. In for second, number 4, April Bandit. I thought that this horse, tough trip last time at Clinton, had the trailing post, did try to make a move towards the lead, and was parked a long way before fading to finish 6th. And if you go back further down, some decent lines, at Flamborough Downs before the shutdown, I think that she's certainly capable of getting a big piece in here. And 7-2 right now on the board is probably about the right price on number 4, April Bandit. And then in for third, I've got number 5, Together We Run. Has raced in against condition claimers in her last 3 efforts. Last 2 were against fillies. I guess before that she did race against the boys as well. She's kind of been a fringe player. She only got 1 win in 11 starts this season, hit the board 3 times, though. And I do think that, today, Colin Kelly did drive her last time, maybe got an effort, got to sit behind this one on July 4th at Georgian. And now here, maybe might do a little bit better. I've got her slotted in for the third spot, number 5, Together We Run. And then in for the 4th spot, I went towards the outside of the gate. And typically, I won't really rate a horse out there higher than 3rd or 4th, but I do think number 7, 3 Gems, getting into this condition claimer type race might have a chance to land on the bottom end of the trifecta or the superfecta. Right now, 13 to 1. The lines look underwhelming, but I do think that this might be, a much softer group for this mare, and maybe she can, work her way, through the mile to the bottom end of the exotics. But for me, and I see everyone else is on board as well, Ken and Gary, we all agree actually on the exacta in this race. Number 3, Edam's Princess on top of number 4, April Bandit. And then I do like number 5, Together We Run, and number 7, 3 Gems for the smaller shares. But we'll come back and we will discuss race number 7 in a little bit more detail with Gary Guy after the post parade.
Field for the 7th on parade. One Smile in Style. Tell the fourth for David Bain and Nathan Bain. Number 2, Mock Shark Austin Sorry for Victor McMurrin and Mark Adams and Robert Evans and Mardell Adams. 3 is Edam's Princess, Travis Edward for Scott Friend and Jeffrey Williamson. 4 is April Bandit, Scott Coulter for Paul Coulter. 5 is Together We Run, Colin Kelly for Daryl Roberts and Rachel Roberts. Number 6, Mark Your Page, Bruce Richardson for Bud Sinclair and Belinda Richardson. And number 7 is 3 Gems, Tyler Moore for Robert Furneaux. Number 8 is Edam's Trauma, Brett McDonough for Michelle Bowen and Felix Racing. Field of 8, race number 7. It is the Fillies and Mares purse of $4,000. And, well, Rob, we all agree with 3 Edam's Princess as the one to beat. And raced very competitively last race in 57. Doesn't have a win on the air, but looks like one that's getting ready to win, possibly right here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Hit the board in 3 of 8 this year, won 4 of 30 last season, and I do think this is a softer spot for this mare, and she does draw, a favorable post. Even money is obviously a price you don't want to take too often on the win end, but I think that she is the best in this race.
Now, number 4, April Bandit, right now offers the best value at 17-1 because this is a mare that has a lot of back class and has been a very consistent one. And look at last year also, 20 out of 26 in the top 3. She has yet really to hit her best rolling this year. You just see 1 second-place finish, and that was back in March at Flamborough. But April Bandit, at 18-1, you could definitely steal one in here at a nice price.
Oh, definitely. Now 14-1, but that's still all kinds of value. It's her 3rd start, back since the shutdown, and at a 12-year-old mare, she might need that, right? She might need both those efforts. Post 7 and Hanover 2 back, trailing post at Clinton last time. I mean, this might be a spot where she might jump up and perform a lot better than her last 2, that's for sure.
Well, if you look at that last race at Clinton, too, equal quarters of 29 starting out from the trailer post and then came first up, so has an excuse to back away. April Bandit, I think, is a nice little sleeper price right now at 14-1. Number 5, Together We Run, well, also had a difficult trip, but the difficulty was early on, parked every step, and really only tailed away in the late going. Was good right up until the top of the stretch. Look at that opening quarter, 26-3 to get parked.
Yeah, definitely. You can't really fault this one for fading late in that mile, battled a long way before kind of throwing in the towel, but still, raced pretty well in there, all things considered, and has been, kind of a fringe player, I'd say, in her last few. 5-2, now 2-1, probably a little more support than I'd like to get behind, but she certainly has a chance in here.
That second last start, 3rd beaten 2 also. Trailer post at Dresden and came first up. So the trips have not been very kind to Together We Run. If she gets a trip in here, she could give our top pick, Edam's Princess, a good go for it. My second choice in here and your 3rd. Another one to take a look at is number 7, 3 Gems. Just one maybe to use it towards the bottom of the ticket, but at least did have a pretty solid final 3 quarters last race after a 32-1 opening quarter.
Yeah, I think this one might be, kind of progressing, decently in her last couple. I mean, you see a lot of underwhelming efforts on the program page, but I do think this is much different now, right? She's been tagged for a claiming price, and it's a condition claiming group. So I certainly think that this is one that you'd want to use in the bottom end of your trifecta and superfecta in the hopes that maybe she can, find a better effort tonight. And 30-1 certainly worth a try anyways.
You know what we have to touch on, because Edam's Trauma took a bunch of money, now has come up to 3-1, but from post 8, getting all that money 3-1, Edam's Trauma, Brant McDonald certainly is capable. Well, that's a low price.
Yeah, the price is way too low for my liking, that's for sure. Post dates very difficult here at Grand River, and this one last time had a much better post and against a more difficult group for sure. But tonight I just don't see it, and 3-1 would even be more of a reason for me to stay away.
There's a look at the field for the seventh race. Number 3, Edam's Princess, right now is the favorite at even money on the board. And taking up their positions, Smile in Style, Mock Shark, and Edam's Princess on the inside. In the center, April Bandit, Together We Run to the outside. Mark your page, 3 Gems, Edam's Trauma. Field of 8, 7th dash on a marvelous Monday at the river. Here they come. The field for race number 7, gathering speed, approaching the start. They're at the start of the rough. April Bandit leaves with Smile in Style. Together We Run. Edam's Princess and Mock Shark as they work into the turn. Then Mark Your Page and 3 Gems, and Edam's Trauma is relaxed away, trailing the field. April Bandit's got the lead, but there goes Together We Run now. And charging on the outside for Colin Kelly. And Together We Run is going to take the lead. April Bandit is second. Smile in Style third. And then racing fourth is Edam's Princess in front of Mock Shark. Then it is Mark Your Page and 3 Gems and Edam's Trauma, but Together We Run and Colin Kelly at 5-2 has the lead. April Bandit is right along in the pocket. Smile in Style third, and Edam's Princess is going to pop to the outside right now and quickly move up and take over third. Smile in Style is fourth. Mock Shark is fifth, and then Mark Your Page and 3 Gems and Edam's Trauma. Off at 29-second opening quarter, they come towards us. Together We Run and Colin Kelly leads it, but on the outside, here comes Edam's Princess now. Edam's Princess, the 4-5 favorite, is coming to call against Together We Run. They race their way on towards the 5/8 off of 59-2 halftime. April Bandit is still there in a good spot on the pocket. And Mark Your Page right now. Mark down fourth, and then Smile in Style. Then it is 3 Gems. Mock Shark trailing Edam's Trauma. On down the backstretch, Together We Run. Edam's Princess now. Edam's Princess on the outside is getting a little bit closer, but Together We Run drives on. Together We Run has a lead of about a length as they get to 3/4. And Edam's Princess to the outside. April Bandit is loving the view in the pocket. And then Smile in Style is reclaimed fourth, and then it is Mark Your Page and 3 Gems in Mock Shark and trailing Edam's Trauma. But it is still Together We Run. April Bandit on the inside, Edam's Princess on the outside, and Smile in Style. Together We Run on down the stretch drive. April Bandit up the inside. Together We Run, and April Bandit's getting closer, but Together We Run was able to hold on and win. April Bandit was second, then Edam's Princess was third, and finishing fourth was Smile in Style. 158-1. Together We Run. Well, there wasn't any trip problems in this one like the last two, and Together We Run, and Colin Kelly was able to score.
Yeah, got to the front, Gary, and just kept on going. Edam's Princess tried moving first over, and certainly that was a tough trip for that mare tonight. Ended up holding on for third, albeit it was quite a ways back in the show spot. April Bandit, though, the one we were looking at for a value play, ended up racing really well. Sat the 2-hole, and I thought maybe might have more to offer in the stretch, but number 5, Together We Run with Colin Kelly, had lots in reserve to close it out.
Yeah, was able to get off the gate really nicely and then grab the lead, and that was really a big part of the story. And also, good even fractions, 59-2 to the half, a mile of 58-1 was enough to allow Together We Run to have enough left in the tank, and was pretty sharp. It was a solid effort, a nice drive by Colin Kelly to get the front on the half-mile track.
Oh, definitely. It's a far cry, too, from the 26-3 and 57 flat last time. 5-2 ends up, being a decent price on this one. April Bandit second. I just, again, it seems like all night, Gary, I got my top 3 just in the wrong order.
And Smile in Style, one that we didn't like the recent form, and, tough to like, but both were post 7. Now gets to the inside and is able to snare a spot on the bottom of the ticket at 50-1.
Yeah, we see that so often here at Grand River.
Coming back in front of us is number 5, Together We Run, a 6-year-old vintage Master Bay mare, owned by Rachel Roberts, trained by Daryl Roberts. Colin Kelly, the winning drive. It's the second win this year and the 14th lifetime Mile of 158 and 1. The seventh race payouts, 5 together we run, 770, 390, 220, 4 April Bandit, 520, and 230 and 3 Edams, a Princess, 210, $2 Exactor, 3080. The dollar try, 37.45, the dollar super, 160.85. The seventh race order finish from the tops at 463-218-75. That's 463-218-75.
I'll make it quick. Yep. All right, everyone. Well, it's time to take a look at race number 8. It is the start of the late pick 4, and this is for condition claimers again of the $15,000 variety. For non-winners, of $38,500 lifetime. And well, I'm going back to a horse that was an easy winner in here last time. Number 3, Bet the Limit. Thought it was a rock solid effort. He, made a move to the lead at the halfway point and then drew off to win by a pretty wide margin. And right now, 10-1 on the board. Right now, number 1, Denmark Seals are taking all the money at 1-5. Opened with a large win wager on that one. I'm not sure what to make of that, to be honest, but I am sticking with number 3, Bet the Limit. He will not be 10-1 come post time. I do think he'll be tough to beat in here with Brett McDonald in the bike. Number 4, Lobel Bruiser, raced well to be the runner-up to this one last time, and he's raced well in 2 of his last 3. He was a winner here at Grand River Raceway in this class. 3 starts back, took on much tougher at Georgian Downs 2 back, and did enjoy getting back to this company last time to finish as the runner-up. I think he'll do that again tonight if the race pans out the way I expect it to. Number 5, Sam McKee Hanover. Finished 4th, beaten half a length in a condition claiming event over at Georgian Downs last time. We've seen horses coming over from Georgian tonight have success. Certainly one you want to consider, an 11-1 on the board. Well, that's a giant size price on number 5, Sam McKee Hanover. And then I go right in order to number 6, Custom Cut. Last time finished 3rd to Bet the Limit and Lobel Bruiser. So kind of shocking to see this one at 25-1. Because, he did round out the trifecta in a race where I thought last time came out pretty formful when it came in, Bet the Limit, Lobel Bruiser, and Custom Cut. So for me, it is Bet the Limit on top, and then Lobel Bruiser, Sam McKee Hanover, and Custom Cut. But we'll come back and talk about this a little further after the post break. The horses are coming out onto the track.
Field 4, race number 8 is on parade. 1, Denmark Seals to Austin Story for Ray Stewart and Catherine Stewart. Number 2 is Raise You 20, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen and Ron Cullen. Number 3, Bet the Limit, Brent McDonald for Bruce Squad and Ron Nobes and Sean Brisebois. Number 4, Lobel Bruiser, Colin Kelly for Vern Cochran and Leonard Van Veen. And 5 is Sam McKee Hanover, Scott Coulter for Steve Coulter. Number 6, Custom Cut, Tyler Moore for Gary McDonald and Christina Soundy. It's a field of 6 for the 8th race. Let's get a look at this field. There's number 3, Bet the Limit. And Brent McDonald, a winner here last time out. And Rob, your top pick. Now, I did not go to the wedding last time out, so they've told me I'm not welcome at the funeral, and I didn't ask to go either. Bet the Limit, 3 wins on the year. Dominant win last time out.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that was a rock solid effort for this one. Looks good on the track tonight. Ears up. Listening to what Brett has to say to this one, and I do believe this horse should get a similar type trip this time. Post 3, 7-2 on the board. It's kind of baffling right now the money that the rail horse is taking, Gary.
3 consecutive good efforts by Bet the Limit. So yeah, the last one was the best of the 3, but the 2 previous ones were also good. So Bet the Limit, strong form Surprised at 7-2. Would love to be able to cash at 7-2. I don't think you can get that. Number 4, Lobel Bruiser. I backed this one to beat Bet the Limit last race, and although Lobel Bruiser raced well, definitely wasn't going to beat Bet the Limit. It was just much the best. Good mile, though.
Yeah, definitely. This horse has raced really well in both of his last efforts here at Grand River. I was on that start from the 2-hole when he was an easy winner after a treble trip the week before. And last time, he went overland for, quite a bit of that mile before finishing second to Bet the Limit. I thought it was a nice effort, and 6-1's a nice price on this one, too.
Well, talk about a nice price. The one that I had, well, the price just dropped, but it's still a nice price. 8-1. Number 5, Sam McKee, Hanover's top choice. Now look at Georgian Downs last race, beaten half a length in 54-3, and did come a very strong back half of 56. You also see this one winning at Georgian in 54, 3 races ago for a career best. Came first up and then was able to clear and just looks so sharp. If you go back and you look at London in March, this one was racing against some decent company. It was able to wire a field there with Doc Finelli and Yannick Sielster. We've seen Doc Finelli look good here. Sam McKee, Hanover, and Scotty Coulter. I like that 7-1.
Yeah, you know what? You're certainly selling me on this one, Gary. You got Team Coulter here, and you know what? 2 starts back against Chiefs Beach and those horses at Mohawk Park. That's a real tough group there that he faced on that occasion, and last time it's a solid effort too at Georgia. And you're right, 7-1 is a pretty big price on Sam McKee, Hanover.
And also, Steve Coulter has been able to put up some solid numbers. Doesn't have as many starts this year, but he had a big year last year. He's been a solid trainer for his brother Scott Coulter. Sam McKee, Hanover, 6-1. There is number 6, Custom Cut, and wasn't able to cut into the top 2 at the finish last race, but was third, but battled on the outside for a good chunk, and it was a solid effort.
Yeah, I didn't mind the effort at all, and I expected this horse to take a little more support than 23-1. I think that's a kind of insanely high price. This horse, gave a solid account of himself last time, and was a winner at Clinton 3 starts back. So I don't know if he can win the race, but I certainly think he can make his way into the trifecta.
And we have to talk about one Denmark Sealster just because of the money. 3-5 on the board. It's had only 1 start this year, but also 0 for 19 in the win column last year. Isn't changing hands. I don't see anything that gives me the reason for 3-5.
Yeah, it hasn't raced since June the 14th, and you can say this horse is getting tagged again back into a condition claimer. Does draw the pole position, but again, I have a hard time accepting 4-5 on number 1 Denmark Sealster.
Well, I can accept 6-1 on number 5, Sam McKee, Hanover, and you actually get a nice still. It's holding at 7-2 on Bet the Limit. We'll see if the money on Denmark Sealster told us something or if we're right, but it is a field of 6 taking up positions. Denmark Sealster raise you 20 on the inside of the center. Bet the Limit at Lobel Bruiser, the outside. Sam McKee, Hanover, and Custom Cut. Field of 6. Race number 8, top of the stretch. Here they come. Field for the 8th race is at the start in the rough, and it is Bet the Limit. Lobel Bruiser hustled out. Denmark Sealster down to the inside. Denmark Sealster now is able to grab the lead. Raise you 20 is second, then Bet the Limit and Lobel Bruiser. Then it is Sam McKee, Hanover, and Custom Cut. And now they're traveling in program order. Denmark Sealster and Austin Sorry able to use post 1 to get the lead. And Denmark Sealster now is 2-1 on the board. Raise you 20 is second, and is about 2 1/4 off the lead. Bet the Limit is racing third. Lobel Bruiser, Sam McKee, Hanover is 5th, and then Custom Cut. Denmark Sealster, 28 seconds is the opening panel, and unchallenged leads it by a length and a half right now. Raise you 20 is second. Bet the Limit is third. Then it is Lobel Bruiser, Sam McKee, Hanover, and Custom Cut popping up from 5th. There goes Sam McKee, Hanover now, and is moving to the outside as they race their way off the turn. They go on towards us. Denmark Sealster, raise you 20. Popping out comes Bet the Limit, and Sam McKee, Hanover is in a good spot, second over, moving up on the back of Bet the Limit, and then Lobel Bruiser to the inside and Custom Cut to the outside. 3 to the inside, 3 to the outside. 57-4 is the halftime. Denmark Sealster leads it still, but Bet the Limit on the outside is working a little closer now and has come on and has taken second, a length and a half back. Inside third, Raise You 20. Sam McKee ahead of her is spotted second over fourth, but Denmark Sealster is still looking sharp on the lead. Fifth to the inside is Lobel Bruiser and Custom Cut Denmark Sealster, and then Bet the Limit to the outside is grinding closer, but still has to make up 3/4 of a length. Raise You 20 to the inside. Sam McKee ahead of her is racing fourth and second over. Then it is Lobel Bruiser and Custom Cut. They turn from Denmark Sealster. Raise You 20 is looking for the passing lane. Bet the Limit, and then Sam McKee down to the inside. Lobel Bruiser, but Denmark Sealster continues on. Denmark Sealster 2-1 on the board to win it and take it. Then it was Raise You 20 and Bet the Limit and Lobel Bruiser 155-3. Denmark Sealster, we doubted this one. We shouldn't have.
No, definitely. And you know what, Gary? We say it at least once a night. Sometimes the odds board speaks to you, and this was certainly the case in this race. And I was worried about the time between starts as well. But holy cow, did he ever look good? 55-3. Austin Story never looked concerned at any point. Had tight lines throughout the mile, and wow, easiest kind of winner right there.
Yeah, and the fractions didn't hurt any. 57-4 was not pressed to pick it up at all. A quality half, but enough on the soft side to be able to get home, and a very good time of 55-3 is a legitimate effort.
Yeah, definitely. And again, 10-1 in the morning line. This horse took money right from the pool opening until the race went 2-1 on the board. And, Bet the Limit, didn't race poorly, that's for sure. Hung around first over a long way and just missed in a photograph for the place spot. But there was no question who the best horse was at this event. It was definitely number 1, Denmark Sealster.
And Raise You 20 working to get up into the top two at 16-1. So if you did take the one on top and got Travis Cullen, you got yourself a nice exactor ticket. In fact, all you had to do to be able to bet this superfect is be able to follow Sesame Street. It comes 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and I was the poor guy with 3, 4, 5, 6 in my selections.
You just started the numbers late. That's all. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the top 4 with one Denmark Sealster coming in front of us. Denmark Sealster, a 5-year-old big Jim Brown gelding owned by Ray and Catherine Stewart at Port Rowan. Ray Stewart, the trainer. Austin Story is the winning driver. It's the first win in a couple of seasons, 4th lifetime for Denmark Sealster. 155-3. Eighth race payouts: 1 Denmark Sealster, $690, $1280, and $210. 2 Raise You 20, $15, $60, and $510, and 3 Bet the Limit, $270. $2 exactor, $117.90. The dollar try, $145.30. The dollar superfecta, $197.30. Eighth race order of finish from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, folks. Well, it's time to take a look at race number 9. It is the preferred 2. Race 8 finished in program order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think we're going to see that in this event. Horses 1 through 4 drew together, and so did horses 5 through 7. The 6 is scratched. That is About a Boy. But I am going to number 5, Brody's Scrapper, right now on the board at 25 to 1. There's no way that price will hold up because 2 starts back, he was a dominant winner in here, and that did complete 2 in a row from here at Grand River Raceway last time. He got a nightmarish trip from post 8 and ended up, battling a long way before fading back to 7th. I think with a better trip tonight and in a compact field of 6 horses, he should get that. He should be able to propel himself to a much better finish, and I think right to the winner's circle, 13 to 1. That price will not hold, but I do like number 5, Brody Scrapper, very much. Number 7, Casimir Richie P. does move over from Mohawk Park. This horse has all kinds of back class, over $350,000 made, 21 wins, and he's got some real big miles at Mohawk Park, including winning the preferred on multiple occasions. Last time, got to the lead there, did a lot of work on the front end before fading to 7th. Should like, the spot here at Grand River, but does have the outside post, now post 6 with a scratch of About a Boy. I think he does have a chance, but I do prefer Brody Scrapper in the win position. Then moving down to the inside, number 2, Carson Shadow, raced well from the trailing post last time. Got a perfect trip, though, second over before moving into second to Sportsline. I do like this one's chances, but do keep in mind that was a perfect trip last time for this one to propel into that place spot. Right now, 6 to 1 on the board. Decent price on this one. And I will go down to the rail horse, number 1, Opportune Hanover, getting big time post relief. Last time, post 6. In this class, now getting the pole position. And we actually said, when we were watching that one before the race, we said, when this horse gets a better post, he should have a chance in here. 6 to 1 on the board from the rail. I think Opportune Hanover is one you need to use underneath in your exotics. But for me, right now I'm looking at the odds board and I'm loving what I'm seeing. I have number 5, Brody Scrapper at 9 to 1. All the money pouring in right now. Number 4, JJ Powerball. I do not have this one in my top 4. Is moving over from the preferred 2 at Georgian Downs. So was facing probably tougher over there. Might like this group, but I'm going to stick with number 5, Brody Scrapper. We'll come back and talk about this race a little further with Gary Guy after the post parade.
Field for the 9th race on parade. 1, Opportune Hanover, J.R. Plot for Julie Robinson and Klein Racing. Number 2, Carson's Shadow, Bruce Richardson for Vicky Craig and David Carson. Number 3, Brave World, Travis Henry for Harry Polton and the Stable. Number 4, JJ Powerball, Austin Story for Tammy Collings. 5 is Brody Scrapper, Travis Cullen for Rachel Andrew. Number 6 is Crashed in. 7 is Casimir Richie P. Colin Keller, Tisha Symes, and Michael Goldberg. Field of 6, race number 9, preferred 2, pacing horses and geldings. A nice bunch, only a field of 6. We're going to start with Rob's top pick in here, number 5, Brody Scrapper. Initially was my top pick, and then I started trying to get cute, so we'll see if I end up regretting that. 5, Brody Scrapper. You got to like this one off that tough last trip, thinking that we should get a much better trip.
Oh, definitely. You throw that one out for me, anyways. And 2 starts back, he got a much better trip, and it was a impressive winner by as much as he wanted. Really, he won going away on 53-1. So, I think in a compact field, it lends itself to him getting a favorable trip. And right now, 4-1, I think that's a giant size price.
And he took a season's mark last year here in 52-2. He won 7 times. A lot of the wins for Brody Scrapper, or at least competitive miles, were in the preferred 2 class over at Flamborough as well. This is one that has proven to be very tough in this class. 9-2 is a nice price right now. Number is 7, Casimir Ritchie P. Your second choice. My top one, and you mentioned just the class in this one. In fact, last summer raced in that the top class at Mohawk, won 3 in a row in there, has 7 sub-150 miles to his career. That's an outstanding thing. And Casimir Ritchie P is one that, now with the scratch benefits, because the one thing that might scare you with the post position, it gets a little less scary now. And you get 5-1.
And the better thing, too, Gary, with that scratch is that About a Boy does possess a lot of speed off the wings of the gate, so he doesn't have to worry about the horse directly inside of him blasting out. I don't think Brody Scrapper's plans are going to be to go towards the front off the gate, but we'll have to see what happens with him. But I do think Casimir Ritchie P is the class of the field. I just think that, he has not been at his best as of late, but if he could ever find his best or anything close to it tonight, they're going to be in for a horse race, that's for sure.
You mentioned number 2, Carson Shadow, getting the perfect trip last race, but also still had to have the wheels to take advantage of it. Now moved up to this class for that last one, was 22-1, but was second to Sportsline. That's a very good winner, Sportsline. And Carson Shadow might well be the trip horse again from post position 2.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of, when I slotted this one in the third position, I figured, last time he did get a great trip, but he'll likely get one again today. He's a horse that, typically races really well when he gets some cover to chase. And, if he can do that again tonight, I certainly think he can land on the ticket, maybe even propel himself into a higher placing. 7-1 on the board is a pretty big price on Carson Shadow.
Number 1, Opportune Hanover, really wasn't able to get into that race last time out, although at least closed up to be beaten only 3.5. 27-4 was closing well. Now gets the inside. Might be a good shot for Opportune Hanover to show a little more of what he's got.
Yeah, definitely. And this one has shown some gate speed in the past, especially from this pole position, 26-3. And I think that J.R. Plant's going to have this one forwardly placed tonight. 3-1 on the board. This horse is certainly taking a lot of support at the windows. I don't mind seeing that on one like this, because last time was one you can just cross right off the page. And tonight will probably be more of an indication of how this horse will race.
Last race, we had one take a bunch of early money that was not one of the ones that we chose. And we've got the same thing happening here. Well, last race, that one that took the money won for JJ Powerball. Even money on the board. That was a good effort at Georgian Downs last race and came home 27-2.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at the horse this horse has been racing against there, it's pretty solid company, right? And certainly not facing slouches in here tonight, but Pedro Hanover is one I'd probably bet in here, and Pretty Handsome is too. B2B as well. He's racing against really, really tough competition. Might enjoy who he's facing tonight, but I think Brody Scrapper's pretty tough too. And 6-1, I'm going to stick with him, Gary.
Well, I get to 7-1 on Casimir Ritchie P, so both of us like our value. We didn't anticipate JJ Powerball at even money, which has helped our prices. We'll see if that matters at all. It's a field of 6, preferred 2, pacing horses and geldings. Opportune ahead of her on the inside with Carson Shadow. In the center, Brave World and JJ Powerball. On the outside, Brody Scrapper and Casimir Ritchie P. It's a field of 6 for the 9th race, and they're into position, approaching the start. Here they come. Giddy up. The field for the 9th race in the stretch drive, gathering speed approaching the start. They're at the start of the round. Brave World will leave out well. Casimir Richie P from the outside. Opportune ahead of her. Then JJ Powerball. Carson's a shadow. Brody Scrapper. Now Casimir Richie P takes back and is the trailers. They race the backstretch. Brave World has got the lead for Turk Henry in front of Opportune ahead of her. Opportune ahead of her, though, wants to reclaim the lead. Opportune ahead of her using that post one advantage and is going to loop back around Brave World and is going to be on top. Brave World's in the pocket. Carson's shadow is third away. JJ Powerball, then Brody Scrapper in front of Casimir Richie P. Opportune ahead of her at 9-5 has got the front. Brave World is right there, bravening up in the pocket off a 28-second opening quarter and racing third on the inside. Carson's a shadow. JJ Powerball, as they race off the turns, is going to be working first over, giving cover to Brody Scrapper, and Casimir Richie P. is trailing the field. They race their way on up past the half of a 28 opening quarter and the half 58-3. Opportune ahead of her, JR Plot. They work into the backstretch. 58-3 is a nice half for Opportune ahead of her. JJ Powerball to the outside. Brave World on the inside in the pocket. Brody Scrapper is spotted second over fourth. Carson's shadow is fifth, and then Casimir Richie P. Three to the inside, three to the outside. Opportune ahead of her. JJ Powerball has come alongside Opportune ahead of her's lead is now to just about ahead now. And then Brody Scrapper is situated second over. Brave World on the inside is still there in the pocket. Casimir Richie P. and Carson's shadow, three quarters, 127, and Opportune ahead of her is digging in on the lead. In the center of the track, JJ Powerball. Brody Scrapper is sent out three wide. Then Brave World and Casimir Richie P. and Carson's shadow on down the stretch route they come. Opportune ahead of her, JJ Powerball. JJ Powerball powers on by to win it. And then it looked like Opportune ahead of her. And Brody's Scrapper, 155-3, and then Brave World 155, and JJ Powerball follow the money.
Yeah, it's back-to-back races and back-to-back wins too for Austin Sorey, and confidently driven again, first over this time, forwards to the lead in the stretch, and nice victory there for JJ Powerball. I guess as you kind of mentioned the lines at George, and I started looking at the horse this one's been facing, and I said, oh wow, I certainly overlooked this one, and ended up going up to 5-2. Nice effort from JJ Powerball, 155 flat.
Very, very solid. Also, I thought the 58-3 halftime was a big key to that as well for this class.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. And I thought that was going to really give Opportune Hanover every chance to hold this one off. But Opportune Hanover still raced pretty well. Just couldn't compete with this one in the stretch. And Brody Scrapper, second over, spotted in a nice spot there. But the way they banged home in the second half, he really would have had to have been had to sprout wings in order to win tonight. Decent effort to finish third at 9-2.
Yeah, definitely JJ Powerball to get by Opportune Hanover, but Opportune Hanover at least got the right fractions, and that made it difficult for the ones that were coming from further back. Even though Brody Scrapper was second over, a little difficult to close now off of the half that worked out well for the front ones. Coming back in front of us is number 4, JJ Powerball, a 6-year-old image of Don Bay Gelding, owned by Austin Sorey and Tammy Collings. Austin Sorey is the trainer. It is the driving double for Austin Sorey, scoring in back-to-back races, taking races 8 and 9. First win this year, 16th lifetime. JJ Powerball, 155 flat. The ninth race payouts for JJ Powerball: 725, 10, 321. Opportune ahead of her, 350, 280. At 5, Brody Scrapper, $3. $2 exactor is $16. Dollar try, $51.70. Dollar super, $163.95. In the 10th race, note the claim entered 5 Devil's Peak. Claim entered 5 Devil's Peak. Ninth race for her finish from the top. 2, 5, 4, 1, 3, scratch 6. That's 2, 5, 4, 1, 3, scratch 6.
All right, well, time flies when we're having fun. Already at race 10, it's the start of the late double, and we've got a claiming handicap for Pacers with price tags all the way from $10,500 up to $15,000. And there is a claim in this event, number 5, the Devil's Peak, is claimed for that price of $15,000. I do like that one, but I do like him somewhere underneath. I actually went to number 3, Art of Fire, and 7-1, I think, right now is a nice price on this one. Last effort was a winning one at Georgian Downs in the off-going. Got a I guess a difficult trip, I'd say, and did get up to win by a neck on a track that was 2 seconds off. He paced his mile on 155 flat and got up to beat, Spectrum Sealster and Stelios. And Spectrum Sealster was the front runner on that occasion, as he usually is. And that one got a pretty big breather in the second quarter. So this one did well to still get up and win by a neck. And I think right now the price at 8-1 is way too big on number 3, Art of Fire. And the last two before that one was at Mohawk Park, and against probably more difficult foes, and then against Brody Scrapper and such on June the 14th here at Grand River in the upper conditions. So I don't know. Art of Fire to me is one that I think certainly is not out of it in this one, in this compact field, and can come from out of it to get the job done. 8-1 seems like a big price to me on Art of Fire, and I've been trying to beat the favorites, most of the time tonight. And for second, I've got number 1, Outlaw Gunpowder. Well, this horse has 59 career wins, almost 420,000 in the bank, and really his last two, it looked like he might fade out of it at points in the race, and then came on to win 2 starts back, and last time only missed by a nose. So you can never count this veteran out, and he's been no worse than second in his 3 races since returning from the shutdown. And tonight with the pole position, he might be tough to beat again. Even money on the board. I expected him to be the favorite. I think his closing odds, I would say you can maybe take a whack at him at around 2-1 or so, but even money would be a little too short for me, even though I think this horse has been racing fantastic. In for third, number 2, Monte Mono got claimed. There's some equipment changes on this one tonight as well. And I think, from post 2, last time difficult trip, might see an improvement tonight. 3-1 on the board. I expected this horse to take support, and he is. I don't think this is one you want to leave out, especially in your exotic wagers. And then in for fourth, that's where I put number 5, Devil's Peak. This horse finished second, beating 3/4 length in a condition claim or 2 back. And then last time, closed from out of it to grab a small share in 5th. Did come home in 57-2. I think Devil's Peak is one I'll use in the trifecta and super, but I certainly prefer the others mentioned in the top shares. But for me, I'm going to go with number 3, Art of Fire, 9-1 right now on the board. I'll take a shot at that price. I think this horse is capable of getting it done in here, especially in this compact field, and off a win last time at Georgian Downs. 2 minutes to post. They'll be on the track shortly, and after the post break, we'll talk about it more with Gary Guy.
Field for the 10th on parade. 1 is Outlaw Gunpowder, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen. Number 2 is Monte Mono, Plot for Jason Mitchell. Number 3 is Art of Fire, Paul McKenzie for Terry Gallant. And number 4 is No Time at All. It's Tyler Borth for Stefan Larocque and Pierre Strasbourg. Number 5 is Devil's Peak, Colin Kelly for Bruce Goyde and Carmelo Shime. And number 6, Spectrum Sister, Eddie Hensley for Jody Cullen and Ron Cullen and Keith Hanna and Travis Cullen. It is a field of 6 for the 10th race, an interesting dash, and with no real long shot. Now there are actually a couple as the odds just jumped on number 1, Outlaw Gunpowder. Well, last 2 races we said follow the money, but in this race, if you're following the money, you're just following what you might have expected to happen because Outlaw Gunpowder was the favorite in each of the last 2 races and just got jumped on. But we're going to start with number 3, Art of Fire, Rob's top pick, and coming in off of a win at Georgian Downs. 3 wins on the year, Rob.
Yeah, this horse has raced well for Terry Gallant, and I like the way this one raced last time. Got up by a neck, came home in 56-1 in the off-going. Track was off by 2 seconds that night at Georgian Downs, so the mile was more like 153 flat than the 155 flat. I just think that this horse has a chance, especially in a compact field, and 14-1 on the board. I'll certainly give this one a try.
Now, my top pick is number 1, Outlaw Gunpowder, but I'm not proud of 1 to 5. 59 career wins. The rest of the field has 72 wins lifetime combined. And Outlaw Gunpowder and Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen. You can't doubt those connections. A winner here 2 races ago. Second beaten a nose to stablemate Spectrum Sealster last time out. Outlaw Gunpowder. The only thing is the inside post really doesn't mean as much to him. I don't think he's firing to the front, or at least I wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, I've seen him do it in the past. You know, it's interesting with Outlaw Gunpowder. He's usually known as a closing type, but I've seen him go wire to wire before as well. It'll be interesting to see what Travis does tonight. Last time missed by a nose, but Gary, you remember that race. One more step and he was a winner. And last 3 starts have been, fantastic from this veteran. 59 wins. He's certainly the one to beat. I wanted to kind of look for a price. I think I found that number 3, Art of Fire, but Outlaw Gunpowder is the one to beat.
Number 4, No Time at All, is Ken's top pick in here. Tyler Borth drives, and is one that raced at Mohawk last race and finished second. It was a good, solid mile. 3 wins on 9 starts of the year, and a win here in 56-1 for No Time at All. 3 races back, and No Time at All. If you want the price, there it is.
Yeah, 18-1 on the board. I think that price is probably in the right neighborhood. Maybe 15-1 or so is what I kind of pegged him at. That win came in a condition claiming event. It was a wire-to-wire win, and it was an impressive one, no question about it. Last time, did finish second to Cool Rock at Mohawk Park, so that should stack up well against this group, that's for sure. 19-1 on the board. The price is probably right on that one.
Number 6, Spectrum Sealster. I think if you're trying to handicap where this race goes, you're not far off if you think that Spectrum Sealster will make the front because can get off the gate gangbusters and has gone to the lead in each of the last 3 and a whole pile of them, all except one of all the ones you see on the page. And look, at last race hung on by a nose. And also, look, if you like Art of Fire on top, well, Spectrum Sealster was beaten only half a length to Art of Fire 2 races ago, and then won here last time out, and yet you get 6-1.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, there's nice value on Spectrum Sealster. Last time held on by a nose. I think for me, Art of Fire is a play that I'm hoping the Spectrum Sealster goes pretty quick on the front end tonight, or at least he's got to work to get there. Maybe No Time at All will blast out from post 4, and I'm hoping there might be some early speed. But Spectrum Sealster is one that, if you could bet on who's going to be the leader at the quarter pole, he'd be the overwhelming favorite, that's for sure.
Number 2, Monte Mono, makes a couple of equipment changes for this race, and you get GRR driving, and it just might be firing early as well. Might at least be able to be a trip horse, although the race will be interesting because I expect the 6 to get the lead, and maybe Outlaw Gunpowder to be sitting at least forwardly placed. Maybe Monte Mono can be the pocket horse in here, 3-1.
Yeah, and he's taken some serious money throughout to stay at 3-1, now 7-2. Got the better of Outlaw Gunpowder at Mohawk Park, back in March, and this horse I think is capable of a better effort. Some equipment changes tonight. 4-1 on the board. I couldn't fault anyone for backing this one.
Well, right now the favorite is Outlaw Gunpowder, 3-5 on the board. It is a field of 6 taking up positions. Outlaw Gunpowder, Monte Mono on the inside. Art of Fire, No Time at All in the center. On the outside, Devil's Peak, Spectrum Sealster, field of 6. The 10th race on a Monday night at Grand River Raceway. Here they come. Field for the 10th race is at the start of the rough. Spectrum Silver from the outside. Montemano, no time at all. Outlaw Gunpowder is down to the inside. And then it is Art of Fire, and traveling on the outside is Devil's Peak. Into the backstretch they go. Spectrum Silver made the lead. Montemano does get the pocket. No time at all is racing third. Outlaw Gunpowder is racing fourth. And then Devil's Peak to the outside. And on the inside, Art of Fire trails the field. Spectrum Silver and Hurricane Hensley with the lead. But there goes Devil's Peak now firing on the outside. And Devil's Peak is moving devilishly quick on the outside. Is moving up and wanting to challenge for the lead. 27-4 with the opening quarter. Spectrum Silver on the inside. Doesn't want to let Devil's Peak go. And then right there on the inside, third, Montemano. Enjoying watching that battle on top, and is about 2 1/4 lengths off the lead as they work their way off the turn and they come on towards us. Then fourth is on the inside. No time at all. They work up towards the half. Outlaw Gunpowder is back racing fifth, but now comes to the outside, and then it is back further to Art of Fire. 55-3. It was a very sharp half and into the backstretch for Spectrum Silver, being pestered by Devil's Peak as they work their way on down the backstretch. And Devil's Peak is trying to come on the outside and collar Spectrum Silver. Now, no time at all is kicked in. No time at all is taken over third. But here comes Outlaw Gunpowder, the favorite, and then Montemano, and Art of Fire still has to pass them all to win. And now grabbing the lead is Devil's Peak, but no time at all. On the outside, second, Spectrum Silver backs away. Outlaw Gunpowder is now moving in the center of the track and kicking in late. Here comes Art of Fire. It is no time at all. No time at all in Devil's Peak. And then to the outside, Art of Fire and Outlaw Gunpowder on down the stretch drive they come. No time at all. No time at all. Charging, here comes Outlaw Gunpowder. Outlaw Gunpowder just gets there. No time at all was second. Then it was Art of Fire. And finishing fourth was Devil's Peak, 156-1. It was a thrilling dash, but Outlaw Gunpowder just seems to find a way to get there right at the end. He is a real classic grinder.
Yeah, for sure, Gary. And, I was getting real excited because there was some hot fractions up front. Art of Fire was closing well, but could not get up for a second spot behind Outlaw Gunpowder, where I kind of needed to get to. But there was some hardball in that race, that's for sure. Big speed hookup on the front end, and Outlaw Gunpowder just always seems to find a way. And tonight he sprints past them again for another career victory.
Yeah, Devil's Peak really forced the issue against Spectrum Silver, and that did to open the door for the ones that were sitting back. And those ones that were sitting back, one of them was Outlaw Gunpowder, and one of them also, your horse, Art of Fire. Actually, no time at all, raced well and was a well-meant second. But the class of Outlaw Gunpowder, they know how to win. 60th career win for Outlaw Gunpowder.
Yeah, he's had a nose for the wire his whole career, and again, just getting the job done there. And no time at all. I was not expecting him to be interested racing from off the pace. Nice effort from that one. I thought he might find the wire. And, of course, he split Gunpowder in my top selection, Art of Fire, who, again, was in the right spot, just didn't have enough to get there tonight.
1-4-3-5 is the top four. And coming back in front of us will be one Outlaw Gunpowder, a 10-year-old smart Shark Bay gelding. Owned by Travis Cullen, trained by Jody Cullen. Travis Cullen with the driving hat trick. It is the fourth win on the season, number 60 out lifetime for Outlaw Gunpowder. The 10th race. Payouts. One outlaw gunpowder, 420, 350, 210 for no time at all, 980, 510, 3 art of fire, 340. $2 exactor, 2360 $360 try, 7260 superfecta, 128.20. The 10th race. Order of finish from the top, 163245. That's 163245. And the claim of 5 Devil's Peak, the new trainer, will be Carmen Asiello.
All right, well, it's time for the final race of the evening and also our super high five wager, which is one of my favorite wagers on the card. And there's always a big time payoff for that one, folks. So you want to definitely sharpen your pencils. But let's take a look at this race. It's for Horse and Geldings now owners of 3,750, their last three. And I am going with the ever so classy number 2, Easy Lover Hanover, 50 lifetime wins, 1.1 million and change in the bank. He's 0 for 6 and has not hit the board yet this season, but last time he got a brutal trip in this class here at Grand River Raceway on June the 21st. He got stuck first over a long way before finishing 5th. Beaten 6 lengths to About a Boy, and that one went on to win the Preferred the following week. So I think Easy Lever Hanover is going to get an easier time of it from post 2 tonight. And well, when this horse is on his game or anywhere near it, I don't think anyone in here can get the better of him. So number 2, Easy Lever Hanover is my top selection, 6-5 on the board. No surprise there. In for second, I've got number 1, He's Got Swagger. This one drops out of the preferred ranks here at Grand River Raceway. Did finish 4th last time to Sportsline. Sat an inside trip on that occasion and should get a favorable trip again here tonight from the pole position, 7-2 on the board. That's about the right price on this Rachel Andrew trained gelding. And then in for third, I've got number 7, Pro Beach for Richard Moreau. And this one here, last time here at Grand River raced really well to actually get up for third. Was a long way out of it. Was flying late, coming home in 55-1 for his back half. And then has since gone to Georgian Downs, the preferred 2 there, and faced tougher against Pedro, Hanover, B2B, and some others. I think that he'll enjoy the class relief here tonight, but he will not enjoy that post position. Post 7 is a difficult one, but I expect Pro Beach to get a piece of it somewhere underneath. Then in for fourth, number 6, Premier Joy. 2 starts back, 1 at the level below this here at Grand River. Then did go over and try the bottom condition at Mohawk Park last time. The win over here on June 28th was a dominant one, and I think that definitely one you want to use somewhere underneath. But I don't see him necessarily as a win candidate tonight. 4-1 on the board. Probably would want a little bit more than that if I was going to bet that one to win. And then on the bottom end of my super high 5, number 3, Jack of Clubs. This one here just always finds a way to pick up a share. Hit the board in 5 of 9 this year. Hasn't won yet this season, but does find a way to get a piece of it every time, especially in the top 5 for this super high 5 wager. 21-1. I'd be using that one underneath for sure. But for me, it's all about number 2, Easy Lever Hanover. We'll come back and talk about this one after the post parade one more time with Gary Guy.
Field for the 11th on parade 1. He's Got Swagger. Travis Cullen for Rachel Andrew. Number 2 is Easy Lover Hanover. Cullen Kelly for Ben Wallace and Bradley Grant. Number 3, Jack of Clubs, Tyler Moore for Gary McDonald. And number 4 is Osborne Silster, Jason Rod for Ted McDonough and Leonard Gamble. 5 is Ali, Travis Henry for Anita Willett and Luke Willett. Number 6, Premier Joy, Eddie Hensley for Ashley Hensley. And number 7, Pro Beach, Scotty Coulter for Richard Moreland, 7 Deschanel, and Gar Racing and Gaston Bibo. And number 8 is Blue Moose, Anthony Hunt for Isabel Darvaux and Robert Shepard. Field of 8, race 11, final dash featuring the Super High 5. And Rob, at first when I looked at this race, I actually didn't put 2 Easy Lever Hanover on top, and then I said to myself, Gary, you're an idiot. He's too good for this field if he races close to as good as he can be. He's got 20 sub 150 miles in his career. Now, I might be wrong that I'm an idiot, or I might be right about that, but I would have been wrong here if I didn't take him on top, I believe.
Well, I don't think you're an idiot for wanting to play against them at all, but I do think that obviously he is head and shoulders the class of the field. Kind of intently watching him right now to see how he scores down. He's not going too fast right now, but he looks good on the track for Colin Kelly. I do think that last time, a tough trip for this one. This time shouldn't be as difficult from post two. Definitely he'll be very difficult to beat if he's even a fraction of his best.
Well, you obviously know Easy Lover Hanover. You don't know me. Number one, he's got swagger in Travis Cullen. One that didn't race well for back-to-back starts, but last time out really put on a better showing and a good race to build on for He's Got Swagger, and also drops in class and gets the inside. Has to be a place somewhere on the high five.
Yeah, I definitely think so. The pole position is going to be really important for this one. Getting off the gate in a favorable spot, and I think probably sitting and hopefully charging for a big piece of it down the stretch. 5-1 looks like the right price, and I certainly think he's got to be one of the prime players underneath.
So there's a look at who I actually had on top when I first handicapped it before I said, hold on a second. Number 7, Pro Beach, doesn't need to leave, but he has been flying the last couple late in the mile and looked really good. Look at last race, 54-1 back half. Pro Beach, if he can get any kind of trip from post 7, he has enough to get by this field at a nicer price of 7-1.
Yeah, definitely. He scored down pretty good there too. Post 7, such a difficult starting spot here at Grand River, but his last effort here, from the 6th hole where he had to do a lot of work late in the mile was a fantastic one. 4-1 on the board now. Probably took some money after being scored down pretty well. I think he's definitely got a chance in here, but the post edge for Easy Lever Hanover might do get the job done for that one.
Yeah, that last one was in the preferred 2 class in 6th, but beaten only a length and 3/4. Others to look at, number 6, Premier Joy. This is a horse that I've liked a lot in the past. Eddie Hensley, Ashley Hensley, solid connections there. Did not fare well at Woodbine last race, but looked really good, circling up 3 wide and just dominating the class below this one 2 races ago. Premier Joy is better than that class that he raced in 2 races back. He fits well here, 9-1.
Yeah, I definitely think he's an underneath player for me. That effort was a rock solid one here, and you're right. He definitely fits in somewhere above that class, but it might be just a bit below some of the horses in this race. I would say for me, I'd be slotting him in my in the 4th and 5th position of my super high 5.
Number 3, Jack of Clubs, is the one that you did slot in for 5th, and actually has been outracing his odds in spots. Jack of Clubs was a good earner last year. Yes, he's been racing in this class and got a 4th and a 3rd in the last 2, and a 4th the time before that in this class. So Jack of Clubs probably belongs somewhere towards the bottom of the ticket, but definitely not one left off the ticket, and yet 25-1.
Yeah, and maybe that's just indicative of the fact that it's hard to really back him to win. I would think most people should be putting this horse underneath for sure in the exotics. He's always finding a way to land there, and I think tonight the best strategy is to find the pylons, take a seat, and hope for the best in the stretch. But 25-1, definitely one you need to use underneath.
Osborne Seelster had the trailer post here last time out, and yet was able to come on and finish 3rd. It was a solid outing in 54-1. Osborne Seelster and Jason Ryan, also a longer play that might be one that you find a way on the ticket to help it pay 19-1.
Yeah, and this horse is loaded with speed and now gets his nose on the gate. Might see a different, strategy this time around. Might try to go forward and look for, a trip in behind the leaders.
It should be a very interesting final dash on the evening, but we both like the class of Easy Lover Hanover on the board at even money right now. Field 4, race number 11. Is taking up positions, and it's He's Got Swagger, Easy Lover Hanover, and Jack of Clubs on the inside of the center, Osborne Seelster and Ali to the outside, Premier Joy, and Pro Beach and Blue Moose, a field of 8, the 11th and a final dash on a Monday night at the river. Here they come. Giddy up.
You giddy up.
Field for the 11th race. is at the start of the rough. Easy Lover Hanover is going to straddle with Jack of Clubs and Osborne Sealster. Pro Beach from the outside. He's got Swagger on the inside. Easy Lover Hanover is trying to come on and get the lead. Easy Lover Hanover. He's got Swagger, though, insisting on the lead with post position 1. But on the outside, Easy Lover Hanover is going to keep on marching. Those two are dueling in the early action. Easy Lover Hanover on the outside. He's got Swagger on the inside, is making Easy Lover Hanover work very hard to clear to the front. We're going to see a big opening quarter. And it is Easy Lover Hanover who's got the lead. He's got Swagger second, 26-4 the opening quarter. Jack of Clubs is third. Then Osborne Sealster. And then it is back to All Lee. Then it is Pro Beach and Premier Joy. And then Blue Moose trails the field. They race off the turn. Easy Lover Hanover and Colin Kelly wanted the front. Got there, but not easily. He's got Swagger is filling the pocket. Jack of Clubs is third. And now here comes Osborne Sealster working first over. And Pro Beach is spotted on the outside, second over fifth. Down to the inside, racing sixth is All Lead. Then it is Premier Joy and Blue Moose, and they work into the backstretch. 56 seconds, a 29-1 second panel breather for the classy Easy Lover Hanover. He's got Swaggers in the pocket. Osborne Sealster on the outside is third. Jack of Clubs is racing fourth. Then Pro Beach is fifth. Premier Joy to the outside. There goes now. Pro Beach is settled wide and is coming hard. Easy Lover Hanover and Pro Beach, and he's got Swagger. They hustled by 3/4, 1:25-2, and it is Easy Lover Hanover who leads by half a length. On the outside, Pro Beach, and down to the inside, he's got Swagger. Jack of Clubs is racing fourth, and then Blue Moose, they turn for home, and it is Pro Beach and Scotty Coulter trying to get the better of Easy Lover Hanover, who worked hard in the early going, and on the outside, Pro Beach and Easy Lover Hanover. Easy Lover Hanover, tough to the finish. Pro Beach second. He's got Swagger, Jack of Clubs, and Blue Moose 154 flat. Easy Lover Hanover, well, it wasn't easy, but he was able to hold on.
That effort, Gary, is much better than it's going to look on paper. I can tell you that, because he had to work extremely hard to get to that lead, and Pro Beach had really every reason to go past him with those early fractions, 26-4, 56 to the half. And this was just Easy Lover Hanover saying, you know what, I'm the classy horse of this bunch. I'm going to dig in, and I'm going to find a way to get my nose on the wire. That's a rock solid effort there from Easy Lover Hanover.
Number one, he's got Swagger is the one that opened the door on this race, and even though Easy Lover Hanover was able to keep on going, he's got Swagger stuck around for third. That's impressive.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, he got used pretty hard early, and I would have thought that, he'd be more than willing to sit behind Easy Lover Hanover and sit a perfect trip to him without that early battle. But obviously, he probably wanted the front, but Easy Lover Hanover and Colin Kelly would have no part of that, and forged to the lead, and just pure class came through there. I'll be honest, turning for home, I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to hold off Pro Beach and Scott Coulter here. They were coming with all the momentum, but Easy Lover Hanover, with his illustrious resume, had much different ideas at the wire.
When they were going around the 5/8, I was looking back to see who was far back that I thought might be able to pounce. Pro Beach was my first one that I thought of, but there were some others back there that I thought might be able to pick up the pieces. It amazed me that the front three were able to keep going. Well, actually, Pro Beach was one of the ones that came from back, but that the 2 and 1 kept going. We'd get 3 Jack of Clubs, as mentioned, outraces his odds at 35-1, and number 8 Blue Moose at 35-1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming back in front of us, well, not an easy winner, but it is a win nonetheless. Easy Lover Hanover, an 8-year-old some beach somewhere, big gelding, owned by Bradley Grant. Ben Wallace, the trainer. Colin Kelly, the winning drive. Easy Lover Hanover, victorious for a 51st lifetime win. First this year. Mile of 154 flats. The 11th race payouts, number 2, Easy Lover Hanover, 490, 380, 287, Pro Beach, 360, 240. 1, he's got Swagger, 270. The dollar win for is 3,044.15. That's a good shing. $2 exact or 18.10. Dollar try 26.65. And the double $15. Dollar high five 540.50. Eleventh race order finish from the top set 314-76825. That's 314-76825. That does conclude the live harness racing program for this Monday evening. Action resumes on a Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. There is a look at the win photo with Easy Lover Hanover getting the nod by about half a head. Well, fans, live racing resuming on Wednesday night. Good night, everybody. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, Christine.